metaverse where fantasies come alive. Rocking out with El Slack and Swally. Every week a new episode. Join us in the metaverse. Let's hit it explode. Oh, let's hit explode. Let's hit explode.
What is up, everybody? How are we doing today? It's the Neutral Zone episode 23, and we're joined with Swarley and Happy MFer. What's up, gents?
Good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
Hello, everybody.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, well, I've joined you again, but this is almost definitely the last time for this year with the in-laws landing tomorrow, the wedding next week, the move to Melbourne, all a go, house bought, house sold, hopefully, touch wood, it doesn't fall through. In between there's a trip up to North Queensland, which is kind of, for American terms, maybe a bit like traveling from New York to Miami for Christmas, except for hot. Yeah, so I'm going to be pretty busy over the next probably 3-4 weeks or so, so chances of me joining you or anyone is pretty slim. I'll try and make Ben final show for the year, but no guarantees I can even do that.
We're going to live stream your wedding on the Neutral Zone.
Really?
That's
have you found the link for it, have you? I know there is a link for it, but I just don't know. I don't know what it is, so good luck with that.
I'll ask your future wife.
Yeah, good luck. She'll probably give it to you too, if you do get a hold of her.
I'll reach out. I have connections all across the world.
So anyway, Upland terms, there's a fair bit that we can cover today. There's been some going-ons over the last few days or so.
There has been some developments. Happy, what the fuck is going on with you? You're like he's a phantom member here.
He's off job.
Hold on, I'm coming back. I'm all right.
He's had a sandwich or two and he's gone.
What is happening?
All right, no, we're good.
Okay.
He had a bad sandwich.
You're settled.
Good? All right, I'm good.
Okay. Then we're off.
This is it. No more fucking with the camera.
No more.
So where do we want to start? The track? I mean, we've been working pretty hard on that all week. So
we can start with the track. Yes. Yeah.
So,
let's start with the Vulgar Speedway in all of its glory. Swarley, you want to share screen and take a look-see at that?
I can do this, I suppose.
You're so much better. I always forget to hit the tabs and things get fucked up.
Yeah, well, that's why I just share the whole window, so that way I know that I've got two screens, so I don't know if I'm sharing one of my screens. I
gotta put you to work. I gotta get as much out of you as I can before you're gone for the rest of the year.
Alrighty, so I was showing my showroom because I'm busy bloody trying to move map assets over to the LA showroom.
Looks like you're trying to flex on us or something with all those MAs.
Map assets. No, I was just moving them over because I've been working with Cape Madman today to try and get his property. I think he had like 20 properties or something. I forget what the number is. A lot. So we've been working with him. Didn't get them all done. So there's too many to get done there. But all right. But the track has, I can't remember exactly how many we had done last week, but we've been chipping away at it. So starting to, so that's the start finish line. So it hasn't changed much from last week.
Not too much, no.
But there's been a few more little properties pop up. The corners are a bit of a pain in the ass because of the curve. Like if the corners were sharp corners like this, it'd work out so much better. Just the way the map assets work with the footprints that Upland force upon them.
Yeah, they put the square footprint on them for some stupid reason.
Yeah, even if it's a round object that has a square footprint, which kind of sucks. But you know, unless they change that, it's going to be a problem. We'll come back to this in a minute. This is Caped. Yeah, we can't even.
Caped Madman.
That one, I'll spit it out. And then there's a reason why he's done this at the moment. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing the pictures that he took. I don't think he will.
I don't think he will either.
So there is a bit of an issue with this, which we do need to bring up with Upland. So hopefully we can maybe show them this footage or show them some stuff, and maybe they can look at adjusting that in the future, because it is going to cause a bit of a problem with the racetrack. With just not the racetrack in terms of racing, but just the way it presents.
Well, like anybody's racetrack potentially that puts stuff on the edge, because I know there's other people doing something similar. It doesn't look nearly as good as ours, well, as yours, I should say. But
so this one worries me. Like, I don't know if this person's a current player or they're active, all that sort of stuff, and if they get on board, it kind of sucks because they're going to do a lot of work to get all this fenced off. So
I know.
For them, it'll be all the way around here and all the way down there, which I will supply for free if they're keen to do it. But for that property to qualify, they need all those fence pieces to get one entry. And then when you come over here and you see, I think it's Vape High Guy, it's got like the exact opposite scenario to that. Where's that start?
Oh, it's that tiny little one right below.
Yeah, so this one here belongs to Vape High Guy, and he can only fit one fence piece on his property right down the bottom. So he gets one entry from placing one fence piece. So I'm like, that's just luck of the draw.
Yeah,
I'm not going to try and balance it out. It's just one property is one entry.
That's the cock and balls of Vulgar Speedway.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. So for him, he gets one entry with just one piece there. So happy for him. So
he has another one. He has another property on the track too.
Yeah, I think he's got a couple. So anyway, so the track comes down to this laneway. So we've got a bit of work to do here. I think even you have a few of those properties. So we've got a bit of work to do along here, but we'll get there. I can only mint so fast, which is part of the problem. So this is probably the part of the track that's going best. We won't talk about some of the gaps here at the minute, but this is probably the part that's going best. I had to steal some of my own pieces to give to other people. I can replace mine at any stage. I was running a bit low on pieces, and other people were on board, so sent some elsewhere. But even in track,
look at that sexy little curve.
Yeah, so everyone's like Scory 29 over here. I think is this you on the corner? No, that's the other.
Yeah,
that's the other Vape High Guy property.
So I have
this section of the track looks, even in game, it looks pretty sweet. With all the tracks both sides.
You got that one right there, little with the pink.
I noticed in game you don't really see the ripple strip thingy, but it is what it is. You see the fence quite clearly, so it comes up pretty well. So it's coming along. Look, it's certainly not going to be completely fenced off by the end of January at our current rate of progress, but we'll keep ticking away at it, and hopefully we can keep getting more and more people on board. There's been a bit of resistance, which has been disappointing, but hopefully people change their tune.
You said we weren't going to bring that up because I'm about ready to go off about it.
No, we're just going to let it slide at this stage. I mean, people hopefully will start to see what's going on here and realize what we're building, and then want to maybe change their tune a little bit. But it is what it is. So, I mean, my goal from the get-go, we were never going to get 100%. Like, that's near impossible, unfortunately, with the way Upland is, and players that have come and gone from the game, all that sort of stuff. So if we can hit like 75%, I think that still would look pretty cool.
It would.
It wouldn't be awesome. I mean, it'd be pretty close to awesome anyway. Like 100% would be absolutely amazing, but I don't think that's going to happen. But if we can get something close to it, I think it'll look impressive.
Agreed.
So we're building up. Like, it's going to take some time. Yeah. Again, I can only mint so much and then move so much, and then the next month is going to be hard for me. So I'll do the best I can, but I just can't commit to anything too much because I'll be traveling and working, and I'm going to be MIA for a bit. So people are messaging me. I do apologize if I take some time to get back to you. Maybe keep in touch with Elslack as well. So I'll try and get as much as I can, but before the end of January, to get everybody that we can into the draw, so we can start running that competition.
Let's look at my prison real quick.
Oh, here's another one that would be one fence that would do it. So this Ozdis.
Oh yeah.
So they'll only need one. They'll only need one to get done, which would be a nice, easy one for them. But I don't know if they're an active player or...
They are. I've been talking to them. They just have a lot of properties, and their schedule is busy. Yeah. So, but they are on board. In fact, I believe they are on board with the whole ownership
Oh,
team of the.
Well, you can talk more about that. So actually, before we do go into the ownership, we'll come back to this bit here. That so the issue we've had with these, which was brought to me by Kate Madman, who identified that there's a slight. I don't think there's anything in this chat
There's a
that's
bit of
going to be.
fuckery.
All right, so he's identified, and that so this is what the track looks like, which is what we're just looking at now on the map. How your property, so this police house is your ranch property, and you've got the fence right on the edge of the property, which is what we've been trying to ask people to do.
Right.
He's put his fence a little bit back, so probably a couple of feet in your terms, or a meter or two in our terms, and it looks really shit the way he's done it there. And you're like, well, why the crap has he done that? It doesn't look good. But there's a really good reason as to why he's done it. And because in game, that's what it currently looks like. So exact same two properties. His fence is shown on the edge of the track. Your fences disappear. The reason why? Yep. Because of the way Upland have built the track, it cuts out part of your property, and therefore anything on your property in that section that cuts out just disappears. So therefore we're not seeing your racetrack fences, but we're seeing his because he's moved his back about a meter or so. So he's done a bit of trial and error, which we're not going to ask people to do. I've said to him, look, just stick him on the corner. We'll hit up Upland, see if they can't fix the track themselves, even if it takes some time. It is what it is. I don't want 200 property owners trying to, trial and error it, move it back and forth to try and work out where it does and doesn't show. Not to mention that it looks shit on this view if it's back a little bit as well. I'd rather just all be on the edge. So this view, it looks pretty sweet when it's all on the edge and it's all lined up and you can clearly see where the track goes. In game, in the races, we'll just deal with it as best we can.
I'll get on Upland at some point and have them work on that.
But me personally,
that's a problem not on just our track, but probably everyone's track.
So, me personally, having created these map assets and the vision that I had for it, I'd rather see it look good in the map view of the game like it does here than have it look good in the race. I mean, we go do a race here and there everywhere, but we don't. Not everyone comes along to check out the racetrack, so to speak, but people might see the racetrack from the map view from looking above. So we'll try and stick to getting just all the fences on the edge like you've done here, not so much like his. I can understand why he's done that and what he's saying, and it is an issue, and we definitely need to address it. And it's fantastic work that he's even identified that, because I hadn't noticed it. So we definitely need to look at it.
Very good at noticing minor details, which is really awesome.
So what he's saying the issue is Upland create the track by the middle line of the road. And as you can see, the middle line of the road's not in the middle of the road, so therefore so the track itself is even, so the left side of the track and the right side of the track are the same, but because here it's not as big, it cuts off a bit of the property, so that's why we're losing whatever's on the edge of the properties here. So he's identified this middle line as being the issue. If that middle line was in the center of the actual road, then maybe the problem wouldn't be as bad, or it wouldn't be an issue at all.
Right.
So, I mean, so kudos to him for identifying it and bringing it up. So at least we know about it early. We can get onto Upland, see if there's anything they can do about it. Hopefully they don't just give us the flat nut, there's nothing we can do about it answer, because to be honest, I mean, this is part of their game too, and I'm sure they want the game to look as best it can. And it'd be disappointing if players go and create assets like this, make tracks look fantastic, only for it to not work properly as intended.
Well, and they have a lot of investment in racing too.
So I'm hoping that Upland can work with us and all track owners in that sense. And not every track needs to be fixed. Not every track's going to be lined up with fences and stuff like that. But if people have gone to this sort of effort to try and make a track next level, then I'd like to think Upland would also not go out of their way, but also try and assist to make the track work as intended.
Right. But if people want to put like their other kind of map assets or other cool things that they've built or bought or whatever, and then they get erased when you're in a race. That kind of sucks. You want that shit to be seen.
Exactly. So whether they can have a long-term plan to fix that, or they've got to fix it on a track-by-track basis, as long as they try and address it some way, shape, or form. Again, we'll have to be patient, but as long as they try and do something, that'd be pretty amazing. But in the meantime, we'll just keep going with what we are. I think it's starting to come up. I mean, that green and yellow section is starting to come up really good.
Yeah, it is.
So I mean, I think you need to. So we need to get you on board with a couple of properties here. But
I ran out of yellow and green ones.
I think this one's yours too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. So we need to. So we'll get you on track hopefully over the next week or two and get some stuff done. So if anybody else is needing to get some pieces, still do still message me or LSlack. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to try and for me to send them to LSlack. I need to send them to you. Sort of a double handling and a pain in the ass. Anyone that's handled UGC or map assets in general knows that.
Right.
So it is easier for me to do them directly to you, but
Happy Medford, did you get your walls up on your track property?
yeah, this is Happy's property here, I think.
Oh, is
this
it?
one, the one up, yeah.
Fuck, you some sort of savant or something? You just know where everybody's shit is?
Dude, I've been working with people all over the place for the last couple of weeks, and I've been kind of watching people live. So if I can, I'll try and get on the same time as them. They'll buy the stuff from the shop, and I'll watch them as they play the items to see what they still need.
Gotcha.
And work with them. So, and that's what I just did with Cape Madman, because when people got like 10, 12, 15 properties, it's like I can just list a whole heap of stuff. But I don't know exactly what they need, what fits, what doesn't fit. Every property is a different size. It's fine to say, like, as a general rule, I'll probably give each person 2 blank ones, 2 worded ones, and a couple of smaller ones just to start them off. But depending on the property, I mean, like, some are much wider than others. Some have corners on them. You know, some are a full corner, so they all vary. And then some people just have a little driveway they need to cover. So
That's true.
So they all vary. So I try and work with them as best I can, but there's only so much I can do. So I need help from help and patience from other people as well. But we're getting there. We can keep chipping away at this. We might get close to 50% by the end of January, which would be pretty amazing.
That would be pretty amazing. That would look really awesome when we're racing on it.
I don't know if anyone's keeping track of what's already been done and how many we have done. I wouldn't have a clue. I don't know. Cape Madman has a way of figuring that out, because he's been figuring out a lot of stuff, which has been amazing.
Yeah, he is amazing. The spreadsheet I have, I think he's been updating. Like I was telling you the other day, maybe it was last night when we were bullshitting. I think he's on there like updating that spreadsheet that I look at all the time. I didn't even realize that was the case, but because it just started showing like which properties have tracks on it.
All right. So and the other thing I wanted to bring up, and I'm trying to think where the properties are now. I think they're over in the green section. I can't remember which 2 they are. No, it's not Hootie Land. No, Boyd Dern had a couple of structures that he had to knock down. I think 2 apartment buildings so he could fit the track up here. So I don't know if anyone else has been on board to help out. I chucked on some Spark on Boyden's builds to help him rebuild, and we'll do the same for other people. So if other people do need to knock down, so anything that can be rebuilt, so these apartment buildings, all the normal stuff, if that needs to be rebuilt, we obviously will jump on, we'll help out, throw some Spark at it and help try and get that rebuilt. And we'll go from there. Even if it's not rebuilt, when it comes time to like the competition, we might just count that as a built property because it was built initially. We're not asking people to knock down the other type of builds at the minute. We'll come to that down the track. We'll work through that in the future. I fall into this category. I'm trying to find where it is. I've lost track of where I'm going. Oh, here.
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Well, I've got this structure here, and Caesar's got this structure over here. Both of us aren't going to be able to fit our track fences on because of the building, but we can't rebuild these 2 structures either. They cost a lot of Spark hours. They were big buildings to do, short, limited ones to do, and they can't be replaced. So we're going to leave those 2 in the 2 hard basket for now, and we'll see. We'll just develop the rest of the track out, and we'll see how we go.
Upland and see if they'll scoot it back a little tiny bit.
No, because there won't be room. Because you look at the gap from the back, like he won't be able to move that. That'd pretty much take up 100% of the footprint of the whole property. So they would, even if they could move it, I don't think they would have the space to there. And I'd have a very similar problem here because there's just no room at the back. So the footprint's going to be right on the edge almost. So obviously when I built this, I wasn't aware that we're going to try and do this racetrack like this. So it is what it is. So we'll leave. And I don't think there's any other properties like that. I think Caesar and I are the only 2 with those structures.
Probably.
I'm not
I didn't
sure.
see any other ones.
Because I do have another one of those structures, but that one's fine. As you can see, I've already fenced that one off. That's all good. But they're a cool structure. They look awesome. They tower over the track. They look great. I think they probably offer more to the track than what the fence would if we knock them down and just put a fence there.
You're probably
So,
right. Especially if it's not,
especially with
if we
Caesar's
were-
one down here. So
if we were 98% complete and it was just those two properties that needed to get filled in, I would be like,
we'll cross that bridge. Yeah.
yeah,
But
we're not
we'll see. Anyway, so that's pretty much the track update for this week. So we're going we're going good. I don't know what percentage we're up to, 20, 30%, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
I was pretty amazed just at how built up Granada Hills is, just because I mean it's really kind of a new node compared to a lot of them out there, and just to see it like so freaking everybody putting in their effort out there, and there's really very few properties left in El Granada or Granada Hills. I always want to say El Granada for some reason.
Yeah, that's because we ain't no scrubs up in Granada Hills.
Is it way more built up than this stinky little node down here?
I think it is actually,
I don't know. Hyde Park's and they've been minting like a storm lately.
but they just have so many more properties too. I think
No, Granada Hills has more properties.
I think
Does it
they're
really?
pretty even. I think the stats for both nodes are pretty even across the board. And you say it's a relatively new node. I first came across James UK.
Supermax Prison.
It would be at least 18 months ago. It was before I went to England, so that was before May last year. So he's been going at Granada Hills for a couple of years now, so he's not that new. And he's obviously acquired a lot of property. And to think that he's mostly done it on his own when the Ninja Boys have sort of teamed up. So they've had a little bit more resources, I guess, from the get-go to help mint out.
Yeah, they got it built up enough to where you're having trouble keeping up with it, right?
It's a pretty good node too. And the more we do this sort of feud with them, all we're doing really is helping their node advance.
Well, right. I mean,
and vice versa. So
all the
It'd
map
be nice if they bought a few more Granada Hills properties.
That looks fucking awesome. You got no matter what. That's fucking awesome.
Right. So my plan with this, and I'm going to do a weekly Twitter update. So last week I did. I'll bring it up actually.
Well, hey, before you get on this, let me finish up about the ownership piece on the track.
Oh, yeah.
You keep looking there. So I submitted last night the URL application to get the Vulgar Speedway sanctioned in the URL. I think I have everything needed. I'll probably, as time goes by, need to get a few more people onboarded for the ownership group, but I'm gonna really get organized with the business plan and kind of put out some notes and some highlights about what the plan is moving forward here shortly, probably within the next week or two. I'll have that all sorted out, and then as soon as the racetrack is sanctioned by URL, I'll let everybody know, and I'll post it in the Granada Hills Discord server, and I will, put out and keep up on those who are part of the ownership group. So if I've reached out to you, you know who you are, and Happy MFR, just FYI, I automatically assume that you will be part of the ownership group. So
sorry, you broke up a little.
Breaking up. Yeah, you're breaking up. But did you hear any of that last bit?
I was just saying that Happy MFR, I didn't tell you this, but I just automatically assumed that you would be part of the ownership group. So now you know.
Hello.
That's right. I heard you. No, it's all good. I heard you.
This is classic Happy problems. It's that SFF or SF internet.
All right, so it's a progress. So we're lots of different little elements rolling there. So hopefully the track will become one of the best tracks, if not the best track in the game.
It will be the best track in the game. Period.
So, all right. So going back to, so the Ninjas had a couple of competitions where you posted shots of your ninjas around the upland. They entered you into different draws and you can win certain prizes and stuff like that. So over the last few weeks, I had, and I don't think anyone picked up on it, I had done a few of those posts with ninjas being rounded up by police or kind of like police type figures in the game with the police cars. Obviously, I've got a few of those police cars like this. And just hints that they've been locked up for warrants and stuff like that out front of police stations. So I did this post, which is what I'm going to call episode 1 of. I'm going to try and do this every week. So the orientation. So the now life imprisoned ninjas are being orientated to their brand new home, for their brand new forever home. So that's what the post was about. So I'm hoping to be able to do a different post. It'll be my time Thursday night, which I think is about 12 hours or 8 hours before the Ninjas Thursday show. So hopefully they'll start. Hopefully we can do a different post each week, a different sort of a theme, different activities, just different ideas. And if anyone's got any ideas and they want to throw at me with different map assets in the game, I'm happy to go and acquire different map assets to make different sort of scenes and whatnot, and hopefully just create something different each week to sort of check out. And if nothing else, just by Twitter post. So I'm working on something for next week as we speak, but I don't know if I'll have it ready in time, but we'll figure out something. So at the moment, staffings might change at the jail, but at the moment, our big golden guy is our acting warden. These are his lieutenants, I guess, or his 2 ICs, and then these will be the minions that help run the jail from all the evil ninjas that have been killing people with their deadly flatulence around the Upland universe. So last week was just orientation. So I don't know what you call it in America. We call it musters in Australia, where they line up the inmates and check them. We do that 3 or 4 times a day. What do you call that in the States?
Well, at my facility, we don't do that necessarily, because we're just in a big dorm. They're all in a big dorm together. So we just make them go to their beds and sit there quietly while we get a count. And we do that a couple times a day.
So you just do a count. Yeah, when we do something, we call that head checks. We do that at night time because we have the same sort of scenario with the dorm. But we do what we call musters. And I think most jails, even normal jails, will do musters at least 3 times a day, where they basically get their name called out and check that they're all good. And it's much for us to check that they're there as it is to make sure they don't have any fresh injuries and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we've got going on here, is just them being mustered, or head checks, whatever you want to call them, count checks. So we have 25 incarcerated inmates at the moment. That number will no doubt grow as the police who are setting up their facilities across the road. So the Supermax prison's for the dirtiest of ninjas, whereas the ones on Vulgar Speedway are just those. They're the ones that have just been recently locked up and waiting. Yes, and they haven't yet been transferred to the Supermax prison just yet. So
it's a county jail and then a federal prison kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Once they come here, they're in there forever.
Never coming out.
KOSC, bring what you want to the outside, but the walls will not be penetrated.
It's too bad we don't have animation yet.
I mean, there might be little gaps here and there, like you can see when you zoom in, but that's not my fault. That's Upland's fault.
What were you saying, Happy?
I was just saying, it'd be nice if we could have animation and you could have them being blasted with a fire hose,
or being waterboarded or something.
Lice and everything.
Yeah,
it's funny you say that, because I know DTech made a comment probably 6-12 months ago now, saying he can't wait for the day that animation comes in to the game. And imagine, and I've got this what I think is fairly cool. I know it's more of an Australian thing than anything else, but I've got in fact, I'll even show it. I'll share again. I think I've still got it here, have I? Yep. So I've got this map asset, which is our Australian Parliament House. So I guess it's like your version of the White House, has this big flag structure that's huge. It's massive. Like this thing up here takes like 12 people to move or something. The flag itself, that's huge. So this is a platform where like 20 people can stand on it, to give you an idea of the actual size of it. But to imagine this being animated to the point where the flag looks like it's actually blowing in the wind as you sort of zoom into the property on the game, like that would look, just something as simple as that would look pretty cool.
That would look super badass.
Let alone all the other stuff that you could start doing. But I guess, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a programmer. I don't know how labor intensive or how, data intensive that is for Upland. I mean, Upland struggles to not crash just looking at stationary stuff. So it'll be cool to see animation. I know it's been talked about from UGC for a while. I'd love to see it myself. I don't know how to create it yet because there's been no need for me to learn how to create it. But once it's available, I'll definitely be diving in on it. That's for sure. And I'd love to see it. So
Yeah,
even
well,
have
before we get too far,
even have a trebuchet that just consistently throws rocks for no reason over a wall or at a wall at a jail or something like that. Like stuff like that would be pretty cool. But
we need a hashtag before we go too far. I keep forgetting to do this,
oh yes,
and
Alright, so
I
I'll
know
give
that
away
people early on end up missing out. So I want to make sure we get one in,
yeah. So I'll do a structural ornament giveaway as per usual.
and I'll give away a teabagger as per the usual. What should we do as a hashtaggy?
Hashtag locked up.
Yep,
Supermax.
locked up. Hashtag locked up. Lock it in and lock them up.
It also kind of fits with the properties getting locked up.
Fuck yeah, it does.
Actually, I've got that sort of on the. I don't.
We're gonna
prepare for
jail
it,
those
though,
ninjas like we're gonna jail them fucking properties.
Actually, is that a good segue to move into the next segment?
I think
Might
that
as
is
well.
a good segue right there, right?
Might as fucking well.
All right. Well, I'll continue sharing since you seem to prefer it if I just do it. I've lost my page now. Where am I? There I am. All right. So present share screen, entire screen. So I'm not going to read out. Is this the? Oh no, it's that one. So I'm not going to go read it all out. Everyone can read that for themselves. But I did note, so we were questioning whether there's going to be any information as to when they actually lock stuff up. So I guess that question has been answered. Thank God. So they've given us a bit of a heads up on which cities are getting locked up and what date. I am surprised, though, it's not in order of the age of the city. They seem, I don't know why they've come up with this order.
I think that's more by like how many properties are left in each city, for the most part. Like I want to say, Queens, Chicago probably have the like the fewer mints left, and then Los Angeles obviously and Nashville are going to have the most. So I mean, it makes sense because then it's giving everybody time to actually mint properties. Like
Look, I know
it's nice they're not just.
There was a bit of noise
down,
made
right?
about. There was a bit of noise made about Los Angeles. I think there's like at least 3 nodes. We're going. Well, hang on, we weren't aware of this. So you've got obviously Hyde Park and Granada Hills, and what was the other one?
Robot City.
Robot City. But what neighborhood was that again?
I'll tell you.
Chatsworth or something like that.
Actually,
Chatsworth, yeah. I'm telling you, 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
I do actually want to go up there and mint some properties. So I'm actually in.
Me too. Yeah, I said I would. I'm going to.
Oh, I already own one up there. Awesome. I didn't even know that.
I think I got my
Chatsworth.
MetaVenture. One of my car shop is there.
Yeah, so there's these couple of properties along the. Yeah, so I might come over here and grab one of these.
Yeah, me too. Well, I definitely got to do it before December 6th. I'm surprised how I thought they'd wait a little bit longer, but I'm kind of glad they're just getting right after it.
I'm glad that they're doing it now. So yeah, I'm not going to do it too stupid. I'm in 100 properties in 5 minutes, but I'll come along here. Oh, hang on, what am I clicking on? I'm trying to send here. I'm trying to find someone that's not charging.
Oh, please. Like the 50 fucking Upix is going to break your bank.
No, I like to reward people that actually take care of other uplanders and have their send fees set to the low. It's not about me and the 25 Upix because obviously I don't give a shit, but I like to reward people that are considerate to other uplanders.
50 isn't bad. It's not like it's at the top end.
Oh, you didn't even hit it though.
No, but it's going this way, so I'll grab this one. So there you go.
Yeah, you will.
I'm surprised that there's still properties left, like with a waterfront, so to speak, on them. Like there's a little river right there.
Yeah. See, and when I get involved in these nodes, I'm never out there to buy like 50 so I can flip them later on. I usually just get my 3 and then leave it at that. I never sell them. If they become a node in their collection, happy days. If not, they are what they are. I'm not same as like I used to, because of my treasure hunting in Queens, I used to own quite a few properties in Bellarose. I sold most of those long before Belarus started becoming a node, purely because other people wanted them. I made a little bit of money on them, but not a lot. I wasn't
Did
out
you
there
take
trying.
your Queens properties off the market yet?
Nope.
You gonna leave them on?
Yep. I'm happy with the price they're set. If they sell, happy days. If they don't, it is what it is. I'll reassess them. No, I'm not. Again, if they sell, I'm going to make a small profit anyway, and I'm happy with a small profit. I'm not about trying to gouge everybody. I'm not one of these players that go, "Oh, what's that? You're building a racetrack? Well, I want $100 for my property on your racetrack."
Hey, we're not talking about that, Swarley. Look, I wanted to get in on this, and you talked me out of this. Don't fucking start.
No, I'm just trying to make a point that I'm not.
No,
one of these
it's a
people
shitty
trying
point
to
because you're
gouge.
gonna fire me up, and I don't want to do that.
So I've got my 3 properties in Chatsworth, so I'm happy with that. I'm not going to go mint 1,000. If other people mint some, happy days. But I'll never sell those 3. Like, if that becomes a node, that they will probably die with the game. So that's just the way I roll anyway. So
I don't.
Well, I
believe
think-
that, Swarley.
You know, like,
anyway, so going back to the lockup. So yeah, so I was surprised to see that they weren't
Hold
in the order, but maybe you're right. Happy that it is to do with the number of properties. That makes a bit of sense, I guess. But at very least, they've told us the dates that they're going to get locked up. So we've got a little bit of time with Los Angeles, like basically a month. Is it a month? No, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And when I first saw that, I'm like, oh, there's only 5 cities. There's so many more cities than 5 that are more than 2 years old. But they've obviously mentioned that they're going to be further cities down the track. So at least they're letting us know, which has not always been the Upland way. So, kudos to them finally. Communication, at least on this front, seems to be getting slightly better.
Is there any other valuable news in there that we need? I haven't even had a chance to look at this yet.
In the lockup? No, it's basically just, it's literally just these 3 paragraphs pretty much. So it's just saying that here's the date. So that obviously it was approved. We voted on it. It was approved. These are the dates. And they do mention that when they do come back in the game, actually, probably only, I think, please note the initial group of cities. Blah, blah, blah. Hang on, where is it?
And they're not locking up Beverly Hills.
And so importantly, after the year, no action will be taken on these properties without the prior notification to the Upland community. So again, they've identified that they need to communicate this with us because it can impact different communities, different nodes, different things that are going on. So I don't think it'll be a vote from the sounds of this. They'll be like, oh, by the way, coming up soon, they're going to be, because potentially you look at a place like Hyde Park. Let's say Hyde Park's still got 500 properties that one gets locked up. If they then go and dump those all of a sudden in 12 months' time, that will plummet the floor of Hyde Park at that time. If there isn't
that'd be kind of funky.
to snap it
Happy,
up straight away.
what did you vote? Happy? Were you a yay or a nay?
I voted yes.
Why?
I mean, kind of supply and demand, basically. Like we don't have the demand for the amount of supply of property. So one way to reduce that is by taking away the supply. And so I think it was a good thing. And I feel like they kind of corrected them. So a lot of people are criticizing them because they're like, well, they fucked up and they shouldn't have released those properties to begin with. And it's like, well, who knew? I mean, when they released LA, everybody thought it was going to be minted out within a week.
Right.
Like, if you go back and look at, videos from like the Upland property experts back then, like TML, like and even Loyal Doyle were all like, oh, I don't think it'll last more than 4 or 5 days. Here we are, like almost.
Yeah, but I don't think they're
years.
expecting prices to be as high as they were. When you look at the mint prices of LA compared to even San Francisco and New York, they were much higher.
Oh
And you
yeah,
think New York-
those
So-
other areas had how many 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 mint properties, and then LA was just crazy. Like right now, what is the lowest mints you can find? Like 13K, 14K.
And you say that, and we know that LA was an expensive release at the time. But we've come so accustomed now to these expensive cities that I've just gone and minted a 1,500 up squared property in LA to become a showroom, and it cost me 170,000 UPX. To me, that almost doesn't seem that expensive because we're so used to cities like London, Tokyo, Washington, that were all so expensive that now that LA doesn't feel expensive at all. So I don't know, maybe there's a balance coming. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, but then again, then you look at Miami Beach. That was kind of a fun release because that old style competition rush, mint as much as you can, was that sort of FOMO had come back into the minting again, which was a nice change.
Yeah, I really liked Miami Beach. That was a good
I
one.
mean, but do you feel like that was almost too few properties?
Yeah, oh, it's definitely too few, and then there was so many locked up between the city pass thing that they do, all the
Mhm.
different other challenges. Like more close to half of them were locked before the city release happened, and then you chuck on FSA on top of that. Like there was so few, and it was probably too few, but maybe too few is better than not, and than too many. I don't know.
I mean, I would think so. In all
It
honesty.
is better than too many.
You know, and it just like another thing about them locking up all these properties is now you're not going to have people minting properties just to freaking dump them on the market for US dollars.
Right.
You know, like now, not that people aren't still going to be able to do that in a way, but you know, like that's almost the only reason anybody's minting properties is to sell them for US dollars. At least a lot of the bigger players, you know.
To an extent, I'm still trying to grow my account at the same time. But yeah, I've started to shift my focus from putting money in to putting money out. But at the same time, not trying to destroy the floors or try and, cash out all in one hit or anything like that. Just slowly start to recoup the thousands of dollars that I put into the game over the years. I'd love to think that in 12 months' time, I can get to a point that I consider myself cost neutral, where the money in is equal the money out. And if markets do certain things and certain things go a certain way, well, then maybe I'll be well and truly in the green. But, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But at no stage do I ever think that I'm going to leave the game altogether. As I mentioned, like those 3 Chatsworth properties or whatever, they'll die with the game. Same as my 3 Bella Rose or any other node that I'm in, they'll die with the game. I won't sell them. Unless I've been, some doctor's given me 6 months to live, like the chances are I'll never sell anything. So that's pretty much the way I feel about it. So,
I mean, I hope that one day we can just rent them out or something. You know what I mean? Like they'll have some kind of other function or whatever down the road that you wouldn't have to sell them necessarily.
Potentially. I mean, there's a lot of things I'd love to see come to the game. And it was brought to my attention, and this is definitely one of the biggest hurdles that I saw coming with our track, and we're trying to do the fences on the track, is by people putting the track items on there, yeah, they can move them if they want to at a later stage, but it makes it harder for them to sell those properties because you've got all these map assets on it, and you can't have anything on a property to sell it other than the structure. God, I hope Upland change that. I really hope that some point in the future, Upland changes that to the point where a UGC person might just create all their own objects, structural ornaments, right through to fencing and other garden stuff, and then sell a complete package to somebody in the game. Everything already placed, everything done, might have 30, 40, 50 map assets already on it, given fences and all that sort of stuff, like maybe just a picket fence or whatever, all done. And be able to sell all that as a package. Sorry?
You have to set like a default location for like if you had map assets on a property, then you sold it for it to go somewhere, or you just sell it with that shit on there.
That's what I'm saying. I hope that they bring that into it where you can sell it with that shit on there.
What though? I feel like that's the one thing that it's like blockchain almost prevents them from doing that because everything is a transaction.
Yeah, but a transaction can include multiple things. Like you don't sell one.
Well, right. I mean, like you can sell multiple, whatever in other games, but I mean, like the way that everything is set up in Upland, like it has to be approved, right? Every single transaction, basically, you have to click yes or no on it, and then for it to be approved. And so,
if you're listing a property for sale, it should just come up as are you sure you wish to list all the map assets that come with this property? So, and you come along and go, oh, this property's for sale, and you should better click at that property and go, sweet, it's a house, it's got a structural ornament of a police station on it, it's got a police line out the front, fences all the way around it, and go, right, knowing that it's for sale and it has that on there, if you hit buy right now, you're getting all that with it.
Right, but I mean, like, that's where I'm saying, like, they're probably running into trouble, is that, like, how do you do that? How do you turn, 50 transactions into one transaction? you know.
It's only lines of code. Again, I'm not a programmer. I don't know for sure. I'm
Well,
sure it's
right.
not.
I mean, that's
Maybe
what
I'm
I'm saying.
saying it is, but it's just a matter of them dedicating the time, efforts, and resources to it. And at the moment, they seem that there's other areas, and probably rightly so too, that need more focus. I mean, I could sit here and give you 100 different things I'd like to see changed, adapted, improved in the game, and I'm sure many other players could do the same. But there's only so much they can do. I get that. I'm not suggesting they should fix everything today. There's certain things that should have been fixed a long time ago. UI is one thing they really got to focus on, especially for UGC people. But UI in general is atrocious. Has to be close to one of the worst UIs in any game out there, which is really disappointing. And I think it's one of the reasons it's hard to retain new players, because they look at the UI and go, "What? I've got to do what now?"
No, it doesn't. It's not very intuitive, you know.
No, but even like, I mean, LA's been around for how long? The track has been sold out for how long? Like, LSAC's been talking about the track now for, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, by about a year and a half.
So the track itself would have been sold out for at least 12 months, if not 18 months. And I'm talking to people who are on board going, yeah, I want to get involved, have no clue how to place a map asset on a property. And I'm having to give them a step-by-step instructions on how to do it. And they're like, oh, I'm really sorry, I'm only new to this, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't mind doing and spending the time. The fact that they are struggling, and they've been playing this game for upwards of a year and a half, and they're struggling to work out how to put a fence on a property, just shows you how.
Crazy to me, though, man, because it's not that hard to figure out.
Swarley, we're not getting into this.
Like, all right, we could agree to disagree then, you know, but like, in all honesty, I've been able to figure it all out pretty easily, and I'm not the smartest freaking dude in the room, man. Like,
but having that box that sticks up in front of you, like you're trying to move a fence, and you got that stupid box that sits in the front and blocks half the view of the fence as you're trying to line it up with the one next to it, or the track at the front. The UI of that alone is just horrible. But
yeah, I'm not going to disagree. Like they got a lot of room for improvement there, you know, and like, I don't know, it kind of is like, well, what do they really want to focus on? Because now all of a sudden we're looking at like planes coming into the game, right?
Well, I've said that every time they bring out something new, I'm like, but hang on, you haven't fixed trucks yet. We don't have trailers for trucks. Like, there's so many other things that haven't been fixed, and they keep bringing in new stuff because it's exciting, new shiny box, new toy. And many times I'm like, I'm the sort of person, no, let's get squared away the stuff that isn't working properly yet. Let's get all that going right first before we bring something. But that's just me trying to be more practical. But my mindset isn't necessarily going to be bringing in new players. So I guess it's a balance between the two. Like, anyone that's known me for any length of time knows that I've wanted personally to own an airline in Upland, if that's even a possible thing to do one day. So I should be getting super excited by all this airline stuff that's going on, because I, from day one, have wanted to do that. But that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, and we'll even segue into that.
But is that because you're a grumpy Gus, or is that?
I almost. Hang on, I need a shit, don't I?
I mean, they are saying that, you know, these terminals are going to have special meta ventures on them, and you'll be able to basically buy and sell planes through them.
Swarley, this could be your calling, man. Get fucking jacked, bro. Get fucking stoked. I'm tired of you sitting there being a sad sack, bitching
I read this morning when I was
playing meta venture, and then they're going to give it to you, and you're going to be like, well, it's further from the truth. I'm not happy about this at all.
I read this morning, and I almost... Would you shut up for a minute? I read this morning, and I almost got excited for a minute. I had to check myself, because I'm like, hang on, I'm getting excited about a bundle sale, and it is actually a bundle sale. But then I read it more closely, and then realized what they're actually saying, and then my sort of heart just dropped and I sunk, and then I'm not interested. But in general speaking, yeah, I'd love to own one of these. 100% I would. Who wouldn't? I mean, if you don't want to, well, then what the fuck are you doing here? But I saw this morning, and like I briefly read the headlines, and I saw 500 of these bundles available for $300 each. Okay, not cheap, but 500. So I'm thinking 500 seemed like a lot. So I'm thinking there's 500 terminals going out across Upland. I'm like, okay, maybe all the cities add it all up. Maybe that works out to be the whole Upland as we know it, between domestic and international. But then when you actually start to read it, there's 500 bundles, but there's only 60 terminals. So
Well,
I did the
not to
math.
mention, you technically only have a 10% chance of getting a regular terminal, and then
Okay.
there's 10. I think it's like
No, it's not
10
even-
international
it's not-
terminals.
It's
So
not
you've got a
10%.
2% chance of getting one of those.
No,
right? Like,
Your math is out. I did the math on it. So there's 1,500 properties. You have so just any terminal full stop. Don't worry about international or domestic. Just any terminal at all. You have a 4% chance of getting a terminal in a bundle. A 4% chance for $300. And I assume that if you don't get a bundle, then you're just getting 3 properties that you don't really want.
well, they'll be collection properties at mint price, right? So you're basically
Are they though? I mean, how many times have we heard people disappointed with what they receive from the bundles?
Now, I was looking at this and I was like tempted at first, and then you're saying, I pretty much did the math, and I'm like, so
I don't know what these properties are worth, but if I was paying $300 to get a terminal property, because when you think about terminals in terms of airports and train terminals and stuff like that, I mean, they cost a lot more than that. So I'm thinking $300 for a train terminal. Okay, can I do this? And I started thinking about it, and then I read it more closely and went, oh, hang on. There's only 60 terminals, and there's 500 bundles containing 3 properties each. So it's a 4% chance of getting a terminal.
What are the other properties? I haven't looked at. There's some other landmarks.
Okay, so I see what you're saying, because you're saying there's 500, so 60, so yeah, probably. Okay, so I see where your 10% comes from now. That makes sense.
Yeah, because you got 50 airport like regular private terminals.
I mean,
then it's 2% chance of getting an international terminal.
If you're going to assume
and then it's like 0.05% chance of getting a landmark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, again, I'd love more than nothing else to get this Washington. I've never owned a landmark, same as I've never owned a terminal. I've never been high enough.
Washington Monument?
I would fucking love to have, given that I own so much in Washington.
Man, either one of those would be so awesome. But that Washington Monument, oh my god! I mean, I those alone, I'm kind of tempted, but I'm like, I know that I'd just be throwing $300 down the drain.
I can't even get a good.
All put in $100 each. Then maybe.
Sorry, I can't even get a good number in a draw for a sale, let alone actually get something half decent. So, am I going to gamble $300 on this? Absolutely fucking no chance in hell.
But this is your chance to get in on the airplane metaventure that you need and want so badly.
Well, I do want, but I think that's a long way down the track. So,
look, you're on a hot streak right now. You could be hitting it. You've been winning everything.
So, but all right. So let's move along to the other one, though. The other big news of the day.
All right, let's see how it is.
So, X1 did a short video on this one, so I watched that quickly just to see how it works. So this has been on the cards for God knows how long. So there's people out there that are whinging and bitching that they now have to charge their vehicle up before driving. I don't know what to say to you other than go get some spark, because this is something that we've known about for 2, maybe 3 years, ever since cars were first introduced. So it's taken them a hell of a long time to introduce it, which is probably the only sucky part about this information, is it's taken them so long to introduce it. This should have been done, in my opinion, a long time ago. But I mean, it's still free travel. You can still travel between cities at no UpX cost, but you just have to charge your vehicle beforehand. No big deal. It's kind of a pain in the ass, I guess, to have to make sure that it's charged before you go, especially if you want to head somewhere. Say you want to send your car overnight to another destination and go to bed, and you forget to charge it before you do that, where you have to charge it first and then send it the next morning or something. But you just got to plan ahead a bit more.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Now, I've known that this is coming, and I wasn't quite sure how they were going to implement it exactly. But then when I watched the little video, I'm just like, I don't know. For whatever reason, overall, I'm happy about it because it adds utility to Sparklet. But I don't know. I just don't like it left a weird taste in my mouth about how to charge it. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the initial.
Well, I haven't looked at personally how to charge it. So if anyone didn't see X1's video, so I think, and I haven't even done this myself yet, so I'm looking at this for the first time myself. So I've got a couple of cars, so let's pick this one, which I think
it's too expensive
at the minute. Well, it depends. All right, so the car's already charged.
Does it cost a lot?
Sorry,
Does it cost a lot to? I guess we're about to find out what it costs to.
I guess it
No,
depends.
car.
One's already 100%. That one's already 100% charged. I'm guessing this one will be too because I haven't used it yet. So they're both 100%. I don't know how many spark hours. I don't know if there's a limit to how many spark you can put on there too. Like, if say it's at 0% and you need to charge it up to 100, and let's say it takes 10 spark hours to do that. Can you put say 100 spark out 100? If you've got enough spark, put like 100,000 sparklet on it and have it done in 10 minutes. I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure that out as time goes, but it's kind of like staking spark on your MetaVentures to mint stuff. So the reason why I like this more than I don't, it's a step in the right direction for transportation in terms of assets and trucks being used, stuff like that. I think this had to be implemented before that got implemented, if that makes sense. I really, truly hope that one day I'm just paying someone a bit of UpX to move all my shit for me, so to speak, with their truck, rather than me having to move them one by one from my factory to my showroom. So that's what I'm hoping.
I want to be able to put spark, like fill somebody else's tank. You know what I mean? Like, can I stake spark in somebody else's car? That's what I want to do. Hey, I'll pay your charging fee or whatever.
Huh.
I
bet you they're going to do that. They'll probably do that especially once they're able to let you stake on, people's MetaVentures and stuff
I'll
like
stop
that.
sharing for that. I mean, one idea that I had, and I'm sure, I don't know if I had it or someone else had it and I just stole it. I can't remember now. I'm sure someone else had it, but they're buying up service stations for that particular reason. To think that you can set up a MetaVenture on a service station, which is just basically like a Tesla charging spot. So if you don't have the spark yourself, you might have and there might be multiple service stations. You might be able to service up to say like 10 cars at a time. And you'll just permanently leave your spark in there and people come along, park their vehicle on your property.
Yeah, you can set your own rate.
Yeah, set your rate, and you just charge. They'll park there for as long as they need to charge up. So while they're sitting there, they'll be charging up. And then if they stay, it'd be kind of like staking your spark on a bill. Like for every hour they're there, they're going to get 5 UpX or whatever type scenario.
I bet you like Upland Spark Exchange. That sounds like it'll be something that'll be on layer 2, like they've already kind of done.
That's gross.
Like I don't see them bringing. I don't know. I just don't see them bringing that into the game.
I don't think we're going to see it anytime soon. That's for sure. But I like to think these are the sort of things that could happen. Same as like having simulated drivers, so like truck drivers could drive trucks, or simulate plane simulators to have plane flights, and you actually fly a plane and take a plane load of passengers from one city to another, and have each passenger of that plane give you 1,000 UpX, and you take 50 passengers, and you're making 50,000 UpX for an hour's fucking flight from point A to point B. Seems like a decent sort of layer 2 MetaVenture type business you could have in Upland. Definitely a need for it, but then that would cut into Upland's profits with fees. So I don't know. There's all these different ideas. Whether any of them come to fruition, we can only hope and see. But I mean, I will give Upland some credit that in the last few weeks there has been quite a few announcements that are like in the right direction and making me excited about the game more than I have been recently.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Like and I also see this like staking, having spark for the vehicles really opening up the semi trucks.
I'll be right back. Duty calls.
Anyway, let's finish what you're saying.
Well, I was saying, this should open up the gate for semi trucks to start transporting vehicles, because the semi trucks will have a longer range than everything else. So more than likely, it'll be like you're loading up your race vehicles in the semis to go to the different tracks.
I don't believe this has come to race cars yet. I don't think this charging has got anything to do with racing. I think they're two very different things.
But they already said that in the future they plan on implementing with the racing. Like your car will have to be charged before it races. And also these cars only have such a distance. Like I don't think they can drive all the way across the country anymore.
Well, that's the weird thing.
They put a limit on their distance.
But that is the weird thing about Upland now, isn't it? You don't need to have the car in the same city you're racing in, do you? I mean, you've got to be in the same city with your Block Explorer to buy something, which you can mail order anywhere in the world in IRL. But can race from anywhere on Upland, and that's been always the case. So unless they change that to having the car has to be in the city that the racetrack's at, then I get what you're saying 100%. But until they implement that, and I see there being too much backlash for people going on. But they'll say the URL race is happening on the Fridays, and they're going to have to plan ahead and travel to that city the day before in a truck or whatever.
I mean, that's just like a real race in real life, though, right?
Yeah, but it's a game, and what other game requires you to do that to play it?
Well, I mean, it is.
So there's a balance between the two,
But I mean, like you're saying, like if you can, we can just drive our cars from, like we used to be able to just have our cars go anywhere, and now you can't. Now you have to drive it to a destination. Like I could see them doing something with the semi trucks and being able to transport your cars to other places, or just goods and services, like your map assets and all of that stuff will have to be challenged.
Look, I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it, or what the plan is, or anything like that, or how any of this is going to work. But I like the idea of, instead of me spending 4, 5, 6 hours a day having to move map assets from point A to point B and then list them all for sale, I like the idea of being able to tag 20, 30 items and go, right, send that to my showroom in a different city. It might cost me 20, 30,000. I don't know, whatever the fee is to send that. But someone else will come along, collect it, and take it over and drop it off. And so what I've had to do is only taking me 30 seconds instead of 3 hours for the cost of someone else earning a little bit up. And all they've had to do is come along, collect those, and move it to another. If that's how this transportation works, and this is the first step towards that with the Spark being staked on vehicles, then I'm all for it. If that's where we're heading, of course we'll have to wait and see, and how long that takes. I mean, we still might be 5 years away. I don't know.
Right. I mean, it's taken them 5 years to get to this point we're at now, right?
Well,
and here we are. It's not even a completed game.
No, it's not. But I mean, I think you just need to look back a couple of years ago to see where the game was then to where it is now. Is the game in a better shape now than it was? Forget about the number of people that's rocking up, playing all this sort of stuff. Just the game in general.
Oh,
is it better today than it was a couple of years ago? And I think I think anyone playing the game will agree. Now, obviously, what helps make the game is the people playing it as well, and that clearly is down. But that's a crypto thing. And people that want to argue that Upland isn't a crypto game, your head's in the sand. Get it out of the sand and start paying attention to the real world. It is 100% a crypto game, and it is influenced on crypto. In fact, this whole lockdown is all, that whole decision and the whole game plan around that is all about the fact that they know full well that the next 12 months is the bull run for crypto. They expect crypto to go through the roof. It's just starting now. So probably for the next 6 to 9 months, we'll probably see Bitcoin and those other big caps rip, followed by the smaller caps. Upland will have its turn one day, sometime next year, at which time people will come flooding to this game. Now, will they stay in this game at that point? That is the question that Upland needs to be able to solve at that point. Well, when will that be? That will be in about 12 months' time, which is exactly why Upland have had this idea to lock these properties down, because they know that in 12 months' time, there's going to be a fuck ton of people that will come and check out Upland and want to buy certain properties in certain cities. And they're going, well, hang on, this is the way we can release stuff without releasing stuff. It won't affect the OG players so much, and the new players will be able to get in on the action. It's not a horrible idea. I don't know if it's the right idea. I was indifferent about the vote. I really didn't care either way. Personally, it might help me sell some properties in Queens. I got my whole web pretty much up for sale in Queens, so it might help me with Queens. But overall, I just keep, I'll just go along with the ride, see what happens. But that 12 months. So in 12 months' time, how Upland deals with that and how that game looks with people do come flocking to this game, which they will do, that will be the moment of truth for Upland and whether it survives into the future or not. Because if it can't, a game that retains players at that point, and what I mean by that is when you have UI that's almost impossible to handle, and they've identified that, like they've made this one-click travel, that doesn't affect us so much because we know how to travel. But the new players who haven't got a clue how to travel will hopefully be able to travel without it being a problem. So that will help them. But things like the UI crash, the phone crash, especially, I mean, I still have dramas on the PC, which is way better than my Apple iPhone. but I still have trouble moving an asset and it just crashes and you've got to refresh the screen and then start again. And it's so frustrating. And that's for a seasoned player that knows what he's doing and has to achieve what I'm doing. I can't just quit because then I don't make any profit on my UGC stuff. So if it crashes 3-4 times in a row, I can't just go, well, fuck it, I'm not going to do it, because then it doesn't get done and I don't sell anything. So, but think of it as a brand new player. Are they going to weather through that and go, well, crash 3 or 4 times? Oh, fuck it, I'm just, if they've got no skin in the game and no long-term plans, I'm not going to stick around.
I mean, I look back to like when I first started playing and there was nothing in the game. You had you couldn't even sell for USD back then. And people were flocking to this game. Like there was.
But that coincided with the last bull run, and that's when I came into the game. That's when I learned about the game.
Right, and same here. Like I came in April, it's like the very end of April of 2021. Same. And that's like right when the crypto market was starting to correct. Like that was when Bitcoin, I think, first hit 60 something.
I think it might have been April 2022.
Yeah, and so but like that, a whole wave of people came in at that time, and you're just like you're saying. I think the same thing. Once the crypto market, once the retail returns to crypto, we'll see a huge influx of people, and so I think what Upland's done is pretty genius. And I think this also opens up a lot more doors for them to release more cities and just do smaller releases.
100%.
Keep it more exciting.
Which is the most exciting part of Upland for most people, 100%.
Yeah.
I've kind of lost a little bit of the FOMO in city releases. I kind of had switched to collection reveals was more my go. But then they went and changed how that mechanic works, so I have to now rethink my game plan, which I hate personally, but for a game point of view, I think it's probably a good move. Because you don't particularly, and I'm only a tiny player, and compared to I'm not even halfway to being a chief executive. So you can imagine some of the other people in their wallets, and then just waiting for those collection reveals to come out, and then just buying up all those hugely expensive prices. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much they cost, you're getting the same yield. They're a 2.2 yield. You're getting that yield for whatever you spend. So it was a good buy. Now I lost my train of thought what I was going to say. Anyway, I've lost my train of thought on that, but we'll go back to JP's question. I can't speak for LSLAC. I can tell you now that ain't no chance that either of us have really got time at the moment to try and start a new track with all the work we're doing on the current track. I mean, LSLAC's been working hard trying to get it UGC approved, not UGC, URL approved, because he wants to be part of, get it actually part of the racing league. Not to mention reaching out to people to get involved in the stuff. So a kart track down the track would be good, but the problem there is I think you need to announce it ahead of time so you can try and get, which he did to a certain extent, so you can try and get most of the track owned by people that want to be part of the experiment, part of the group in the track. And if you do it now and creating a whole new track somewhere else in Granada Hills, it's already minted out, and God knows how many people aren't playing the game or not interested in being part of a track experiment or trying to build it out or do anything like that. When I say experiment, I don't just mean putting up fences. I mean maybe just putting buildings up or decorating the track or doing certain things. So it's a lot of work. I certainly won't be jumping in to do it again anytime soon, but never say never. So, but there's so many tracks on Upland now too. It's almost too easy to get tracks. I don't know. And speaking of tracks, we are working on a track in what he likes to call Schlong Island, over down at Miami Beach. So we'll see how that goes too. So yeah. So I did forget about that one for a second, but we are working on that. So stay tuned with Upland's development. So sometime by 2026, we might have some information on that racetrack, because it ain't going to happen anytime soon. It'll take some time for it to, it is what it is. So have I missed any other? I've missed so much from chat. So I'm not getting wooded. You just got to keep.
I was just kind of wondering, do you think by chance, like on the reverse side of Upland shutting down a lot of these cities and locking up these properties, now if they do releases that are really small, that could alleviate, like, people might not even have a chance to create new nodes again, because I mean, imagine a city release, like the last one. Like, is anybody going to be able to create a node in Miami Beach?
You can, but it's not going to be anywhere near as easy as it has been in the past, because you can't just go in, be like a James UK or the Ninjas and mint 500 properties each or something like that. Those sort of days, if the city releases go the way they are probably numbered. But at the same time, and not to suggest that either of those guys are going to do any of this, but those players, and there's plenty of nodes where this is the case, those players that hold a huge amount of properties in those nodes could easily just dump those properties in a heartbeat.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's just like having whales in Bitcoin or any other crypto coin. Like, if they own half the supply and then decide to sell on a day, well, good luck you trying to sell anything, because you're not going to.
Right, because their order block is going to be so massive and take.
So I don't know whether Upland intentionally have tried to reduce that, so to speak. I mean, a node would be much better if there was, say, 5,000 properties and there was 2,500 owners of those properties. It's not going to happen probably, but something along those lines. So having one or few people own many, many, many properties, I don't think is a good thing for a node in the first place. So potentially, I know there's a lot of people try to start a node in London, Knightsbridge or whatever the suburb there is, and I think it's going all right overall in terms of its rating. But that was kind of like a lot of people having a few, like 3 properties each. Like, if you could have that and pretty much have no one, own a crap load of properties, that would be the perfect node. And that's what nodes should be really trying to achieve, in my opinion. Not one person owning half the neighborhood or a few people.
And just like you said, I mean, that's almost like a pyramid scheme in a sense, right? Because really the only person who's going to win in the end is who owns the most properties.
Well, and to me, this yes/no vote came down to, if you want to sell properties, you vote yes. I want to lock everything up. If you don't want to sell properties and you want to buy properties, you vote no, because you want to go and mint stuff. That, to me, is what the yes/no vote came down to. The reason why I was indifferent is I couldn't give a shit. Like, if I sell my Queens Web, and I've got 1,100 properties for sale in Queens, roughly, if they sell, they sell. They don't, they don't. I'm not going to lose any sleep over they do or don't sell. So the vote for yes probably helps me sell those properties, but I don't really care.
But I don't think it'll affect the second market that much, in all honesty.
No, because is there really that many people wanting to buy these properties? So
right, like, period. There's just, like, if people can already buy properties under mint, like far under mint, and it's not like that market is getting flooded with buyers, and you can already buy plenty of properties under mint for UPX even, and that's still not flooded. The demand just isn't there.
I'm not going to try and mint out or buy up the secondary market on the.
Nice vape, my guy.
But I will. We have got plans. Like I said, we have got plans for a. Well, we would like to have called it a go-kart track, but it's not. It's too long, and it's not enough corners. So, and it's just the way it is. Just the way it is shaped with the bloody island the way it is. There's no real. I mean, he was hell bent on having. Where are we going? Up here somewhere, isn't it? Yeah. He was hell bent on having the racetrack on the Rocket. We'll call it the Rocket Island because he's not here. Fuck him. So we're hell bent on having it obviously up and down, but obviously there isn't many streets you can turn off, change the directions, all that sort of stuff. So, and when you think about it, it turned out to be roughly, just even going up and down here, it was 2 miles. So it was quite a long, with a lot of straights. So it'll be terrible for karts. It won't be much better for the faster cars. At least it'll be slightly less painful because they're not sitting in a dead straight line doing nothing for God knows how long. So
yeah, that's like a quarter-mile track kind of setup almost.
A little bit of flexibility. I think he made it so it came down here, then up and around. But don't quote me on this. So don't go out and racing out there and buying whatever properties here and then go, oh, you said the track was going this way. I'm telling you now, I don't know. He set up the track, not me. But I think it came down here, up around this way, just to add in some more corners. But again, I'm not 100%
I mean,
sure, but I
could you
mean,
have it
this part is definitely right. So, the start
right? And
finish
you go
line
around the
will
corner.
be
Could you
here.
go over the bridge in the middle and then kind
No,
of?
because you can't go over the same bit
You
of
can't.
track. So
Oh
you can't.
no!
So you can't overlap yourself because you'd be obviously in the race, you'd be crashing and all that sort of stuff. So you
Okay.
can't. If that was a third lane or something like that, then maybe you could look at swapping or something like that. So you really only had the choice to go, up one way, down the other way, and then around here and then back again.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a track in the works. I have absolutely zero plans to do anything about trying to fence it out or anything like that. Mostly because, unlike the Volga Speedway, he announced that when a lot of it was unminted, so a lot of his followers were seeing that, myself included, and minted properties on the track. So we have a reasonably good percentage of people that are on board and helping out and being part of the experiment. This is going to be kind of what you want for a node, 1,000 different people owning all these different properties, but good luck getting 1,000 different people on board with the same project. Just a logistical night. It's hard enough as it is with the Volga Speedway.
Well, right. Or even just getting a hold of them, period, right?
So yeah, I'm certainly not going to take this challenge on, but that was just more because he wanted a racetrack on the island. So it is what it is. So I said I'd help out there because I owned a few properties. So yeah. So that's. I take it he's not coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, he must have had to take a fat shit, huh?
No. He said he had his work phone. He's on call at work, so that must have run.
Oh, that sucks,
He's obviously had to answer it. So look, I didn't have a lot. We don't, as anyone knows, if they've watched the show before, we don't prepare for the show. We just talk shit. So if anyone's got any questions, by all means, throw them at me. We're only at an hour and 20 minutes, so we haven't been going that long.
Sparklet took a pretty nice dump this week compared to everything else in the whole market.
Actually, I was going to talk about that, so I'll bring that up now that you mention it. Elsak and I were just doing a video chat with each other the other day, and I was talking about it. Talking about the market in general, and then looking at Sparklet, and I charted something out with Sparklet. So this is Bitcoin's hour chart. So it's not good to chart a coin on a smaller time zone. You want a bigger one. 4 hours is kind of the minimum, but you can see it's creating a nice little bull flag, which is great. Typically, and I'm not an expert, do not take this as financial advice, anything like that. I know nothing about this other than what I've watched on the internet over the last few years. But typically, from what I understand, is when you have a bull flag, if it plays out the way it should, 70% of the time, it'll do that. And it's amazing how it just seems that will hit roughly the 100,000, which is. So my guess is sometime over the next few days or so, it'll break out of this bull flag. It'll retest this $92,000 level. It'll retest that, then bounce up, and then get rejected at the 100,000, which makes total sense. Nice big round figure, something that people have been looking at for years. That's what I think Bitcoin will do over the next probably week or so. And then we look at Sparklet. Very different story. Let's show me Sparklet. There we go. Very different story. Now, I touched on this a couple of weeks ago, I think, when I said I'm not worried that Sparklet isn't doing, and we'll change that to 4 hour too, just to make it even easier. I'm not worried that Sparklet isn't copying Bitcoin because we don't want it to copy Bitcoin. If it did, it'll do a 2x, which is probably what Bitcoin will do from here, and that would be pretty disappointing for Sparklet. So Sparklet is a micro cap at the moment, so it is not even going to remotely resemble what the big caps are doing. So don't get upset to see Sparklet coming down while Bitcoin's going up, because why should it? Why should it follow Bitcoin? What you do see here are the blue lines when all the main airdrops have happened for Sparklet. So we had the first one, which was the purchase Spark owners drop, which happened at the same time as the TGE, which we saw the big dump at the beginning. I'm not suggesting that's the cause of the big dump, but it certainly wouldn't have helped. But then we've had the earn Spark owners airdrops. So we've had 4 out of the 6 now. Well, we're about to get the 4th one. I assume will probably come out today or tomorrow. But these lines are the date of the actual snapshot. So the day they took the details and worked out how much you're going to get. Not so much the day it hit the market, which is why you see a slight delay, because you know that's like 3 or 4 days later. So there's a slight delay. So I think this tells a pretty telling story. And I reckon if I went back and looked at the events where they had some sort of competition to bridge Sparklet in for different competitions. Like I think that plain one, I'm pretty sure that was in here, so that probably helped drive the price up. But it's pretty telling, I think, when you see that you got an airdrop happen here, and then a couple of days later, the price drops, and then 2 weeks later you have another airdrop, and then the price drops again. It recovered pretty quickly, so that might have coincided with some event that helped recover it, and then it stabled pretty well for the whole of that. The 2 weeks off, followed by the first month of the next season. So you got a 6-week gap. So it sort of didn't. Even here, we had a bit of a sell off, but it recovered really quickly. So that was encouraging. I was looking at that going, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. But then we get another airdrop. And if this doesn't tell the story of what airdrops do to coins, I don't know what does. Like, we had the airdrop, we've had nothing but a sell-off, and we're about to get a second airdrop. Now, I don't think this is what they call, like, the markets are predicting the future. I think that's already cashed in, so to speak. I don't think we're going to see a massive drop-off. Like, I won't say we definitely won't go below this 4 cents. I would be super, super, super surprised to see, even with the airdrop being coming in the next couple of days, it might hit 4 cents, like over here, but I don't think it'll go. But I think that's too strong a support. But I definitely would have some buy orders in at 4 cents. For me personally, I will be personally having some buy orders in at the 4 cents, hoping that it might hit it. But until we stop getting these airdrops, we're going to keep seeing this sort of action. I've been saying it from day one, and I think the last of the airdrops, as we know it at the moment, is the road to New Orleans one. So that's not till February. So we're going to have the last of the Earn Spark airdrops happen in the end of January. So the 15th of January, I think it was the last one.
Yeah, that's normally like right when the Super Bowl is.
So, and then we're going to have, but the Super Bowl's like the first week of February.
Super Bowl's like the first week of February.
Yeah. But that airdrop for the Road to New Orleans one will drop about that time. That, I think, is going to be the last of the main airdrop, as far as we know anyway, unless Upland come out with some more. As far as we know, that'll be so we're not going to see any real strength in Sparklet, I don't think, until at least February. So until at least here. So I can see us continuing this pattern inside these two, not going above 7 and not going below 4 for the next 3 months. That seems like a long time, but we just went through 9 months of Bitcoin coming back to it. In fact, I think it might have been Ace that I was talking about. We had roughly 9 months of Bitcoin doing this. So that kind of looks similar to what Sparklet's doing now, doesn't it? In a way.
A little bit, it's
so
like
on a much bigger scale and all that sort of stuff. But we had 9 months. So Bitcoin hit an all-time high way back in March or something this year, and then did nothing and went sideways, maybe even down slightly for all this time. And now we're seeing it rocket up. And
a lot of that has to do with the summer months, though. Like all of the traders go away, and you're not going to have nearly as much action. Like that's every summer for you.
You can't compare. You can't compare Sparklet to Bitcoin.
No, you can't compare. Like Sparklet's its own thing. But however, no matter what, later on in this cycle, Sparklet, just by being a crypto, is going to fucking rise. Like that's every single crypto for you out there. It's not going to follow Bitcoin. What'll happen is Bitcoin will go up, up, and up, and then it'll hit its point where it basically, goes sideways for a while, and that's when the rest of the market starts to rally. Yeah, especially all of the no-name shit.
So JP, that's exactly my thoughts. Again, I can't tell you what to do and what you do with your money, but I personally think, I'll put in my money where my mouth is. You can see how much Sparklet I own. It's there on the blockchain. Anyone can look at it. I had a goal in my head to get to 300,000 Sparklet. Even if I feel a little bit bearish on the game and how it's being run sometimes by our plan, I've never ever, and I don't think you've ever seen me on any stream, whether it be this one or Ben's one, being bearish on Sparklet. Whilst they're very much intertwined with each other, Sparklet is still its own little beast and can certainly do things on its own, regardless of what the game is or isn't doing with it, just because of the crypto bull run. To the point where I would be disappointed if Sparklet only did a 10x. So a 10x for Sparklet would get it about to the price where people think it should have been, which, again, I won't go into it because I'll rant about it all night. But, I don't think that Sparklet was ever worth 46 cents. But a 10x would get Sparklet back to around that price that people think it should have been worth in the first place. Okay, that'd be a pretty cool return from where it is. If you could put your money into any other investment and get a 10x, you'd be pretty happy with that in a 3 month or 6 months, 9 months, 12 months time frame. Surely, I mean, if you could go buy a house and know it's going to go up 10x in 12 months time, you wouldn't ask the second time. You just go, where do I sign up? So, I guess again, Sparklet isn't buying a house. It's way more riskier than that. But then you're not putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into it either. So me personally, I think there's every chance Sparklet can do way more than a 10x. You can look at the history. I've done this before on Ben's show. Other coins have done hundreds of X's, if not thousands of X's. I'm not suggesting that Sparklet could do that. I wouldn't be surprised to see it do 100x, but I personally won't be banking on it. I would have probably sold it. A vast majority of mine long before 100x, but maybe I'll regret that one day, but I'd rather regret selling too early than not selling at all. And that's a lesson I learned the hard way.
Yeah, there's
hello, Boyden. Good to see you. Yeah, so this Christmas will mark my 4-year anniversary in crypto, and I've pretty much, they say you've got to experience all different things before you can start making money from crypto. One of them is a full cycle. One is not selling when you should have. One of them's being part of rug pulls and scams and stuff like that. Tick, 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 tick. I've learnt my lessons. I'm not an experienced crypto person by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm not coming in with my eyes, wool over my eyes like I did probably 4 years ago, and just thinking crypto's going up forever, like everyone said. And I fell into the trap of believing people when they said the Bitcoin was going to 100K last round, and it didn't, and therefore I sold nothing, made no money. And now it's been a long 4 years waiting for it to come back again.
Yeah, no, I hear that. This was like technically my third crypto cycle. Like I caught the very tail end of the, what was it, 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
And yeah, I basically, just like you said, every one of those things happened to me. I got scammed out of like $2,000 for Axie Infinities. That shit, like they got hacked, and I lost a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of Axies. Well, and
I had money on Celsius, I had money on FTX, I had money on BlockFi. So I've fallen part of that. I was very lucky that as a platform or an exchange called Nexo didn't go down. Apparently, from what I hear, they were very close to going down with all those other ones, with all the shit that was going on. That one would have close to ruined me because I had a lot of my stuff on that platform. Thank God it survived. So I got stung somewhat with the other ones, but nowhere near as much as I could have been if Nexo had gone down. And these are reputable exchanges that, was selling and managing your coins. Upland's got hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of your coins.
Well, you can't even get that money out. Like you're stuck. Like Upland is a one-way street.
So it scares the fuck out of me. Like I've got roughly, in today's value, I think it's something like $20,000 worth of Sparklet in my account. That scares the fuck out of me having that on.
Well, Sparklet's a little bit different. At least you're not locked up in properties. Like you can actually get Sparklet out and sell it. The problem is by the time you get the Sparklet on the market, will you be able to sell it, or will it even be worth it?
I have a game plan. I'm not going to go into it too much here, but I do have a game plan for the next 6 or 12 months with my Sparklet and what I'm going to do in terms of Upland and Sparklet. So, yeah, I mean, it's one thing to have it on there at the moment. It's another thing. And I will always have some Sparklet in the game because you need Sparklet to play the game. And I still want to play the game.
And you're building all kinds of stuff, right? And you need Sparklet for, manufacturing.
You want to see how much I'm building? Well, we're just trying to kill time here, but
yeah, let's see.
I'll bring this over.
So, how much Sparklet do you have currently?
Just under 300,000. So this airdrop, when it does happen,
and so you really did go shit crazy buying Sparklet, huh?
A chunk of it was earned when I was treasure hunting. So a fair amount was earned the hard way for 2.5 years of toiling away, and so this shows a lot. My actual Sparklet, actually, I can show you here, is 270.
Yeah, wow,
so
man.
By the time all the airdrops are done and dusted, even if I don't buy anymore, I will probably hit the 300. But I'll probably
that's
buy
crazy.
anyway. So I was inside the top 20 of Spark holders from my treasure hunting efforts. Like I used to spend many hours a day treasure hunting. I saw the future in it. I saw the possibilities of where it could go to, which is part of the reason why I was so disappointed with Upland and the way they've treated earned Spark holders. It's not just treasure hunters. You think about things like the competition at the UGC, like D-Tech owns a lot of Spark. Most of it, not most of it, but probably a fair chunk of it was earned from doing different creations for different challenges and like you got like 5 Spark, that was it? 5 Spark for all those Paris collection property thingy, whatever he did.
Yeah.
Like, and then he got paid out, and he's part of us now getting the purchase Spark, the earn Spark payouts, which we've got to jump through all these hoops over 3 seasons, 6 airdrops, all this sort of stuff, and we're looking at getting about 150% of what we already owned. When the purchase Spark owners got 400% smack bang there and then, no questions asked, move on, let's go. So we're getting way less than half, and we're having to work for it so much harder. It's just such an unfair, and I'm so pissed off. That's one of the reasons why I'm so pissed off with Upland. I just think that system, that segregation that they did, splitting the community into 2 between purchase and earned, is an absolutely terrible decision in my opinion. You're absolutely punishing the players of the game. And I just think it was a horrible, horrible, horrible decision, and I'll never forgive him for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of messed up. I mean, because people spent so much time hunting for Spark, and the time is one thing and like you just said, you're talking about the players of the game, where a lot of people who just bought, spent money, probably barely ever even log in.
Yeah, exactly right. Anyway, so I'll argue that I contributed more to the game because I was buying properties instead of Spark and creating webs and doing so. Anyway, I can argue this till I go blue in the face. It's not going to change anything. So anyway, so I've mentioned this before, and I set this up a little while back because Upland had talked about rebalancing, and I think it's getting closer and closer because they definitely put that in the roadmap for this quarter of rebalancing Sparklet and how much what that's going to look like. We still don't know. Now, this could be an absolute waste of time. At the moment, I don't know the actual figures, but let's say it's 20,000 or 200 Spark hours to build a townhouse. Well, that might change to being 500 or something like that. We don't know what it's going to change to. I'm hoping that if you've already started a build, whatever you started at, it's locked in and that won't change. So if they do rebalance it and make it more expensive to build a property, then I'm sweet. So I quite some time ago went and set up all the builds that I wanted to do in Upland, and I did initially have 20 pages of builds, so I'm down to 15 now. So most of those are just with the minimum build on there, and then I focus on whichever ones I want first. So I basically use the Upland Spark Exchange, UPX Spark Exchange to monitor all my builds. I can sort through which is going to end the quickest, or I can sort. You can sort through different addresses or the building types. If I want to do an apartment building, I can finish off an apartment building, so to speak. I couldn't manage without using this site, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So part of my goal is to try and get through this build, all these. So basically, long story short, between showrooms and factories, which most of those are done, basically I've got to build on every single collection property that I own in Upland. And then once they're all done and I've caught up, I'll probably then start re-looking at what I'm trying to achieve in the game and see where Upland itself is. So
yeah, no, I kind of been wondering where it's going to be going in the next couple of years.
Boyd, and I 100% agree. I don't treasure hunt anymore. I did sort of switch over to UGC just before all this sort of blew up anyway, so I wonder if I would have gone back to treasure hunting. I planned to, but I probably wouldn't have, to be fair. I 100% agree. And compared to what prior to all this happening, I was able to, in 2.5 years, with a lot of dedication, time, effort, sweat, blood, tears, all that sort of shit, able to work myself into the top 20 Spark holders in the game. You can't do that anymore. So from that point of view, there is no way in hell that you can work your way up to being a top tier, if you want to call it that. I don't know what's the better term for it. A big player in the terms of Spark in the game. It's just not possible. It's just there's too much Spark out there now, and the rewards haven't increased. They've decreased, if anything. So yeah, I 100% agree with you. Having said that, right now one Sparklet is worth, what, 5 cents, give or take. So you're getting at least 10 sparklet with every treasure chest you find. Let's say that does a 20x, turns into a few dollars. Like, it can add up really quickly. So it's still not, I don't think it's still totally unreasonable to treasure hunt. I still think there is some value there. It's just not for me anymore.
They brought it back to the PC now.
Yeah, so that will help some people.
That helps a lot.
It would have helped me, but I'd already stopped treasure hunting before they did that. I was always a PC hunter. I was never a competitive treasure hunter either, so I wish they'd never taken it away from standard hunting in the first place. But it's the typical, we'll punish the whole class for one person playing up type scenario, but, it is what it is.
Well, I feel like them actually shutting it down, though, and then bringing it back, it seems like whatever they did allowed them to catch a lot more of these cheaters.
Again, and if people are cheating, 100% agree, 1,000,000% throw them in the jail, block them from the game. Again, but it's like these bots. Like RPC Cash has been jailed. Happy days, yeah, awesome. But now we don't know who he is. You're trying to tell me he's still not in the game, still not sniping? Pig's fucking ass he is. Like, you know what I mean? There's no chance he's not on another account doing the same thing, and it's only a matter of time. And whether people will click to it's the same person or not, I don't know. But there's no way. I mean, these guys know how to code. Like, they're not going to create a second account in an entirely different name that doesn't catch on. I mean, you see some people are stupid and, create their account, David 1, David 2, David 3. And, like, you're not even trying to hide that you're multi-counting. Like, it's just ridiculous. But, yeah, if you're trying to think that, if you think RPC isn't Cash, whatever his name is, isn't already on a different account doing the same shit, like, I'll eat my hat.
Man, he might not be. Like that guy.
Why wouldn't you be? Well, why wouldn't you be? What do you got to lose?
Well, I mean, the fact is that everything's locked up in that one account that he has, and it's also, they track your IP address. So, I mean, if he's using a VPN, sure, he could probably mask that, but I don't know. Like the dude, Freaky Man, who's like the other big sniper out there.
Oh, yeah, like, I fall victim to him.
He's basically saying RCP's done. He's not in the game anymore.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I would like to think, and look, they can knock one down. It's like that mushroom theory that I'm sure Alex heard that before. Like, you have a problem in one area, you knock it down, and it just pops up somewhere else. And you keep that's what policing is all about. Like, you have a certain area in your neighborhood that's a problem, so they go and flood that area, and it'll clean that area up. But that problem will now spring up somewhere else, and this the same sort of thing. But Upland can't relax on it. They just need to keep putting people in jail, and eventually it'll be, I'm fucking sick of getting sent to jail and having, because you'd still have to start an account with some money, so you'd have to, fund
well,
it.
The thing is RCP didn't go to jail for
sniping. Well, no, he went for
sniping. No, he went to jail for treasure hunt violations.
Yeah.
So they had basically, I think it was something about like they caught him actually using bots, and so that's what it was for, because they couldn't catch him using the bots with sniping, but they were able to catch him with treasure hunting.
Well, they can catch everyone.
The changes that they did when they made
it surprises me that Upland don't stop the sniping, and I've mentioned this numerous times before. I hate it with a passion, and I hate it only because it's not available to everybody. When you think about it, sniping,
it is, Swarley. It is actually available to everybody. You could build your own sniper bot. You were able to figure out Blender. You could figure out a sniper bot pretty easily.
No, it's not that. No, and there's not tutorials that you can find online that'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, there are. You could, I could hook you up with Freaky Man. He would tell you, he could walk you through it, no problem. You want to build a sniper bot? I could have you a sniper bot built tomorrow.
No. I want to sell, not buy. So, no, but I don't have a problem with, like, when you think about it, a sniper bot is just the buy order. So you think about it in terms of the crypto. If you want to buy Bitcoin at a certain price, so it's sitting at 90,000 now. If you go, it goes back down to 80,000. I want to buy Bitcoin at 80,000. So you can go on an exchange and go, right, I'll put a buy order in for crypto at Bitcoin at 80,000, and if it hits that, you'll buy it. The same, if it goes to 100,000, you can sell it, and you can set that buy order and have it sold. So buying a property in a certain neighborhood at a certain price is kind of the same concept. If you could create some sort of order in Upland where you go, right, I want to buy this property when it hits any property in this neighborhood or this street or whatever for 40% of mint in USD, and you can hit that buy order and then go to bed, and everybody has that same opportunity, then happy days. By all means, bring that in.
But you could technically, because it's not illegal. Like Upland doesn't frown upon it, and they're not going to do anything about it.
Well, they do.
Genesis
They
Week,
do, but they don't. It depends on who you talk to there.
no, at Genesis Week, they straight up said they don't care about it. They basically, what's his name? Nerds Logic. He had like a train terminal or a plane terminal stolen, and he was at Genesis Week, and he stood up, he talked about it, and they basically said, we don't see this as a very, very big problem. If you make a mistake, it's on you.
RPC Cash was the one that took that terminal too.
Yeah.
Do you know what? And this is, I'll share my screen here, and talking about sniping, and people whinge about, well, maybe there should be a cooldown period, or, and this is where I mentioned, again, it's another thing I've mentioned before, and I'd love to see Upland. To me, this would be a really simple change. Entire screen, this one, share. So when you go to seller properties, I'll just pick any property. So when you go to seller property, so you bring up the cell, it defaults to UPX. So if you forget to change that and you just type in your price, then it sells, and you're thinking you're selling it for $10. So I've got this little bloody pop-up thing. So yeah, so if you forget to change that, so when you hit sell and you just go to type in your price, why does that come up? Because I'm sharing it, it's not coming up properly for me. So yeah, so the default setting is UPX. So, and if you forget to change it, then you're selling it for $10 UPX instead of $10. I'd like to just see that swapped and have the USD at the top, the default. So worst case scenario, you accidentally sell it for USD, which no one's going to buy. And then when you realize that you've done the wrong one, you can then swap it to the right one. It would just reduce some of that accidental sniping like we saw with that train terminal. Because I'm willing to bet that's exactly what's happened. He's put in there like 300 UPX instead of $300 or whatever the price is.
It happened to me the other day.
So did you get sniped?
I've done it.
I listed something for 4 UPX and got swooped up in seconds.
Yeah, I've done it. And
who swiped it?
Actually, I was just looking at that. I was trying to see if they were actually a sniper. And we can go look at it. Let's just look at it together and see what it is.
Taken in seconds, it'd be a sniper, because the property I had sniped from me went before as soon as I clicked the OK button. So there is a notification that comes up saying it's selling it way below the market price or the floor price or the mint price or whatever, something along those lines. And as I'm clicking, as muscle memory was clicking the button, I saw that message, and it took just that second for it to click in my brain what it was telling me. But by that time, I'd already pressed the OK. I'd instantly gone from pressing the OK to trying to press the cancel the sell, and it was already gone. And it was already gone. So it wasn't like I sat there for a minute and went, oh, hang on, I've just done that wrong. It was instantaneously I'd realized what I'd done was wrong, and it was already too late.
So look up.
And if you're trying to tell me that's a good thing for the game, then I'm sorry, I disagree.
Look up, they are the liquidity providers of the game.
Or if it's not no, because I mean, do you want me to bring up the stats for Freaky Man and how much money he's taken out of the game?
Like, if you need your money out now, it's going to be a property sniper that's buying.
Do your own research and look at how much. No, do your own research. Look how much money Freaky Man has taken out of the game.
Yeah, I know. He's taken out like over
68,
50 grand.
something, 60, 70 grand, somewhere in that.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Let's take it out of the game. You're trying to tell me that's good for the game?
He's still playing. I mean, I'll say this, man. That's good for a player of the game, right? To say that he's taken out $60,000, you wish you could say that.
Yeah, but he's taken out that by doing trades like stealing fucking train terminals or. Now I will give him credit. He did it to me, and I was able to buy my property back up. I accidentally sold a property for $11,000 instead of $111,000 because I left a zero off the end or some shit like that. And he did sell it back to me. He made 10 grand UPX out of me by doing it, but he did give it back to me. So I will give him some credit. Like, he did reached back out once I contacted him and said, look, I fucked up, left a 0 off the end, blah 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 blah, and he took a little bit of time, but he did come around. He first dived into my account and made sure that I wasn't doing any multi-accounting or anything that looked a bit dodgy, stuff like that, looking for, I guess, for some excuse to sort of say no, fuck off, which I don't necessarily disagree with. So, and I did get my property back, and it's a very minor point, but the property was initially worth 90,000 to mint, and it's now sitting and it's still there in my inventory, worth 20,000 uppies, because that's what I had to buy it back from him for. So I lost 70,000 of my net worth in that whole scenario to begin with, which is neither here or there. But if you're trying to, and back then I was only worth less than a million upx, so I was trying to get to that next level, so it kind of hurt. I mean, this is
well, it pisses you off. Period.
Yeah,
right. You get a property sniped, it ruins your fucking day.
Yeah, I was furious. I mean, again, like I said, a few hours later, I did get it back, so it wasn't the end of the world. And at the end of the day, it was only a 90,000 upx property, not a train terminal. So I certainly can't, try and claim that I understand what it's like to lose a train terminal. I've never been in the privileged position to get one in the first place.
Well, and then just imagine that, getting that sniped.
Yeah, I'd be so
and the RCP Cash, who's a piece of shit and wasn't going to ever give it back. To me, that's blatant theft. I mean, here in the state of California,
why aren't Upland stopping it then?
I would think that they would be able to charge that. I would have been calling the cops. But the problem is, if you don't know where the guy is or who he is, who are you going to fucking charge?
I don't know if it's a chargeable offence. I mean, he listed it for sale. There was a price. I don't think you'd be able to go down that road.
I don't know. I think it would be. It's hard to say that it's not, a mistake, and that, what you really think he wanted to sell a $1,200 mint property that he paid $1,200 for $1, like $2 or whatever. He sold it for like 1,000 upix.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's wrong. Again, I still think Upland should have been stamping the bots out years ago, and they're probably never going to do it. It is what it is. I think.
Right. Well, we can talk about this. Back and forth. I mean,
yeah, and it's never.
I agree. I think snipers should be. I think it should be illegal. To be honest with you,
they can rot in hell.
Like you're saying, it's not the greatest thing for the game. However,
show us your story, Elsa.
That's the only way anybody's making any money off of this game right now.
Is by cheating.
Upland doesn't consider it cheating.
I know they don't. I was there when they didn't.
I was going to say,
they condoned it, but they sure as shit didn't really seem to care all that much that it was happening. Didn't acknowledge it as being a big problem. Let's look this player up real quick because I'm curious what you guys' thoughts were. Will you? I will do it.
What's his name?
It's Crypt.
Just take us to the property if you want. Have you reached out to him?
Yep, never responded.
How long's it been now though?
It's been 3 days.
Yeah. It still hasn't been moved since though, has it?
I don't know. I haven't looked. When I click his name now on my phone, it goes to a completely different person, which is, I don't know if that's a glitch or there's some sort of weird thing happening. Or do you have it up, Swarley?
No, I don't even know what the dress you're talking about is.
Oh, I thought you said you saw it.
No.
Okay.
I said you show it. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't read your mind.
I thought you said you looked up the property off my feed or something.
Nope.
All right, let me... And I'm not saying that this person is a sniper. What I'm saying is let's look.
Well, how long between you listing it, realizing that there's a problem, and trying to not sell it?
Oh, yeah, that guy's a sniper.
This guy?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
I mean, it's kind of got cryptic in the name.
Yeah. Let's look at their feed. So I was looking at the feed and I saw there's a lot of selling pretty low and also purchasing, not this one so much, but this one's like 3,000 UPIX as a purchase. This one's 3,600 UPIX this one's under 5,000.
So they all look like normal purchases.
They kind of do, yeah, but this is that one's Rio de Janeiro. 6,600. This one's 1,000 or 1,100. And Sao Paulo.
Freaky Man's at $86,000 taken out of the game.
Yeah, I don't know if this person is or isn't. Well, this one they purchased it for 25 UPIX. Original mint was 16,000, so that seems suspect. That this would happen on more than one occasion. It's possible that somebody gets lucky and catches one real fast.
All right, so what's the net worth of this account? It was like 6 million, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're a director.
And they have USD sales that basically is $16,000. At what point do you think that's good for the game? So you probably missed that, Happy, but this account is worth something like 6 million UPIX, give or take.
Uh-huh.
And they've had $16,000 worth of sales in the game. So just like Freaky Man. So I mean,
Right.
the
Like
percentage of
of
sales
course.
is through the roof compared to what the account's worth and what they're contributing to the community.
They're not
So
contributing
just
anything. To the
thinking is
community. These guys. But you gotta say this, man. These people are making more money than anybody else in Upland, and Upland is okay with it.
And
so why
how
are
they-
we all making our own sniper bots?
How is that? And personally, I have a moral issue with it. I won't go hell for leather in these UGC ornament competitions because I feel bad about competing against people I sell ornaments to. How the fuck am I going to then use sniper bots to steal money from people that I consider friends in the game? I'm not going to do. Personally, my morals will stop me from doing it, and that's the end of the story. And I'm disappointed that Upland don't view it the same way. I mean, that's just anyway. Let's move on from it.
Well, I mean, it is disappointing. But look, I can see both. Yes, morally, it's shitty. It's a fucking dog shit move. But as Happy's saying, if Upland doesn't seem to care that much, who's to say that it's not? If put morals aside, it's not a bad idea to go out there and get a sniper bot and go make yourself some money in Upland. If you want to be a dirtbag, Upland doesn't seem to care all that much.
They won't care until
time
someone like Dizzy or Abdullah goes, I just lost $1 million, like literally $1 million US fucking property, and then they will care. And then they will do something about it.
Oh, sure, maybe then, but if that is not the case, and a lot of these players that are racking up thousands of dollars out of Upland, that's not the case. If you can get $16,000 out of the game by sniping, that's a pretty good fucking deal.
And it's not always bad.
I think it's a shitty deal, but I mean,
and I'll agree, not all sniping's bad, because Ben68 has said many a times that he will find the trigger point for a sniper bot in a certain city when he's trying to sell all his properties, and then just list all his properties at that markup price, and the sniping bot and bleed them dry of their USD. He said that many a times, and in that case, fantastic. He's happy to sell it at that price. All's good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're the liquidity providers of the game. Like without snipers.
Right.
Without snipers, who else is buying your properties on the spot? Nobody.
Well,
you can sell them pretty fast without snipers. If you set the price right, you can sell them pretty fucking fast.
And there's Discord bots that can alert you to, and I don't have a problem with this. Because everybody has access to it. It's easy to set up. It's easy to use.
Those Discord bots are the same exact thing as what the snipers have.
But the difference between a Discord bot is, first of all, you got to get the alert, then you've got to go to the property, and you physically got to buy it. You don't have it. You're not fast asleep dreaming about pixies and fairies whilst your bot's taking someone else's train station.
Yeah, but see, like Freaky Man, his setup is not like that. Like he can't buy. He has to actually be in front of his computer
He
and
did.
hit the buy button.
He did. He bought mine in that millisecond between on clicking the button and realizing that I did the wrong thing.
Because he was watching his computer. He got the notification. It was right there.
No.
And he hit buy.
No. That bot bought that. I'm talking like half a second between hitting click OK and canceling. It wasn't even enough time.
I've watched him do it. I've watched his whole setup. Like, he's actually a personal friend of mine. Like, I know how he does it. He does not. His bot. He is very against cheating. So I know for a fact that his bot is not. He's actually having to hit that button.
I know full well what happened. I know a sniping bot took my property. I know it was.
It is. It's a sniping bot, but it just basically loads his screen instantly. So he doesn't have to put anything in. His screen is just loaded instantly with the property.
But he doesn't have to sit there, read the notification, go to the property, hit purchase.
To hit the buy button though.
No, he didn't. There's no way. There's no way in hell that transaction that I did got onto the blockchain.
He can do it in 1 second.
It was sold.
He can do it in 1 second.
Have you seen how long it takes for the property to actually come up for sale when someone else lists it? It takes like 3 or 4 seconds.
Not with the bot that he has. He's hooked up to the API just like everybody else is. So he just gets the notification faster.
So he's like on steroids and getting stuff there quicker. Anyway, let's move on because I'm going to get the shits with this. We'll go around in circles. I mean, not UGC. Upland Generals, had many heated discussions about it. The community is always going to be divided. People are going to argue that it's Upland, don't stop it, therefore it's legal. Morally, it's just fucked up. It shouldn't be part of the game. I hate that it is. Let's move on.
All right, next topic.
Well, I think we're all about done, and we hit the 2-hour mark. I think we've got shit to give away.
We do.
I was going to say, we never did the giveaway.
I've been waiting. I got 9 entries now. Sorry, I had to leave. I had an emergency at work. One of our secure doors that leads to the outside of our facility wouldn't lock, and so
Vape Pie Guy is saying 2.5 is the fastest he's ever seen. Like, I'm telling you now, dude, the one that he sniped from me was definitely faster than that.
Hey,
because
we
I
moved
couldn't
on,
even cancel.
You know what?
I couldn't even cancel the transaction.
Next week, I'm gonna have Freaky Man join us, and I want him to fucking snipe a property live and show us all how he does it.
But what he shows us live and what he does behind the scenes can be two totally different things.
But his time will be. He'll show you his time.
All right, go put a property up for sale for one UPX any city, and then try and cancel that sale before, like, as soon as you hit go.
I'm gonna waste the property.
Go get
because
one.
I know. You know what? Actually, I could do it, and he'll give it back to me.
No,
yeah, do it right now. Share your screen.
It won't necessarily be him that buys it, but the sniping bot will snipe it before you can cancel. So you go straight from click OK to put it up for sale, and then instantly try and take it off for sale. It'll already be gone. You're trying to tell me that someone can physically beat you to that? No way in hell.
I'm telling you, he can. All of these sniper bots.
You go straight from clicking OK to straight to cancel as quick as you possibly can. How in the hell is any human anywhere on this planet going to beat you who doesn't even know that you're doing this to buying that property from you before you can cancel it for sale?
We're gonna show you guys next week. I swear, I'm gonna talk to Freaky Man about it, and because he's done plenty of videos about it and shows people how he does it.
Yeah, fuck snipers.
You know,
does he understand?
I mean, man, everybody wants to hate on the snipers, but they're pulling more money out of this game than everybody else is right now.
Yeah, our money. That's the problem. People that want, like your mate who just lost his train station. Did he want to lose $1,000? No, but now it's sitting in someone else's fucking pocket buying him beers on the weekend. Like,
well, actually,
this is
that
the problem with the game.
Now, so he's not doing anything with it.
No, but that train station got sniped months ago, so that money is well and truly out of the game.
Yeah, no, it is. But I mean, hey, that just creates more of a supply shock for us. You're taking stuff away, like every player that gets
liquidity. You say they're providing liquidity to the game. No, they're taking liquidity out of the game.
No, because a lot of them are still using USD to buy a lot of properties. Because there's stuff that comes on the market that's around like 12 to 15%. And they're buying all of that with USD. And plus, just like you said, I mean, how else are you going to find that person who's giving you the money? You're going to have to keep lowering your price until you find where the liquidity is. And typically that's where these snipers are.
Yeah, I should have a beard too. I need one right now. Anyway, let's do this giveaway, and then have we got any other questions?
Here's the thing, man. Is that if anybody can ever exploit something in a game, they're going to.
Yeah, of course they will.
Right? And like, especially if you can make money off of it, they're going to.
Of course.
So it's
like, that's not the game. That's just the world all over.
Right. And that's just the world all over. Sure. And so, Upland's not going to be any different. And the fact is that technically these guys aren't doing anything illegal.
And if that's true, which I don't believe it is, but if that's true, then that's a problem. That, to me, is a red flag for Upland.
And, there's a lot of easy fixes for it, too, like we've all discussed, right? So, anyways, I'm sorry. We can stop.
Yeah, illegal and immoral, it's where do you draw the line? I think that's your own personal preference. And, some people are going to fall on one side or the other. Happy MF, your friend sucks. I'm sure he's a great person, but in the game, he sucks. Maybe he does really great things. Maybe he saves lives. Maybe he's fucking Superman. I don't know. But inside Upland, he sounds like a dirtbag. I bet he does really great things in real life.
I don't know, man. He's not a bad guy. And
I believe you. There's a lot of really good things to be really fucked
I've heard.
He's better than most of the other snipers out there.
I have heard that from a number of people saying that Freaky Man's actually a good bloke. And I'm sure he is. I'm not suggesting he isn't. I'm just suggesting that and I'm not calling him out. He's the only one I've personally come victim to. But I'm just calling out sniping in any space. I just think if it's not there, if there isn't a system that we can all put buy orders in for everyone to have a fair level playing field, then there's different. It's
it's not fair. It's just a fair level playing field in general. Like people are always going to have a leg up on somebody.
Well, yes and no. I mean, it'll come down to the speed of internet. I mean, us Australians will get fucked over anyway, because even if I had a sniping bot, I'd still lose to all the other sniping bots because my internet's too slow.
I want a sniping bot that snipes faster than the other snipers.
Really good
Robin Hood everybody.
I'm willing to bet that you two are both in
back. I saved the property.
I'm willing to bet both of you two are in the perfect location on the planet to be at the best time for a sniping bot.
I got fiber internet.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. How come your fucking internet sucks so bad all the time? And you're always
I wonder that all the time, man. And I am gonna be calling Sonic to ask him what the fuck is up.
Gotta go fast. And you don't.
Well, you gotta have a gaming computer to really do it as well.
Yeah.
It helps a lot because that's where a lot of the speed
comes. It's more in the processor than it is in like you don't need a graphics card to necessarily.
Right, but I mean,
it's more in the processor and your RAM than anything else. But that's some nerd talk. We don't need to get into that. We're trying to give some shit away. How about hey, Happy, next week when we have your sniper friend on, can he snipe some properties and then give them away when we spin the wheel?
I think we could probably do something like that. I'll donate properties for him to snipe that you can give away.
No. I want him to snipe in real time and then give those properties away.
All right. I'll talk to him about it. He might not be down for that shit.
The problem with that, else, like if you need someone to sell at that time, and there might not be someone doing an excellent.
Right, because what if he steals somebody's? Like, what if he snipes somebody's property, and then we give it away to somebody else? Like
maybe that makes us a sniper.
We're just
makes you an accomplice. Anyway.
It does make us an accomplice. I mean, accomplice is something that technically isn't illegal, but it does.
Well, it is.
It does add us in the dirt baggery of the whole process.
Try and be an accessory to murder. I'm pretty sure you go to jail for that.
Yeah, but this isn't fucking murder. This is just.
Yeah, but being an accomplice.
It's taking advantage of people straight up. Like there's no other way to put it, right? Because you're taking advantage of somebody who's making a mistake in the game, and you're capitalizing on it.
And that sucks.
And so I mean. But man, people do that in business every fucking day of the week.
And they suck too. Happy.
I mean, it's like what it is, man.
But it still sucks.
It does.
It sucks.
It's a cutthroat world.
Dog eat dog. I want to eat his dog. Rip that dog apart. Hashtag locked up if you want to win. I'll give you guys about 30 more seconds. We're gonna do the little draw thing. Swar, are you giving away something?
Yeah, I'm just getting the wheel ready for it now.
Okay.
So
And then-
I'll put a whole bunch of structural ornaments on it, including my newest one, which is the Peppermint Tower. It's now in game. It's not yet up for sale.
Ooh, I want the Peppermint Tower so bad.
So if you're looking for structural ornaments for the winter or Wonderland season for the the ornament challenge, I've got you covered. It's not a spectacular build, but it's a nice enough build.
Hey, don't sell yourself short there, partner. Don't you ever sell yourself short. You're a winner, and so is your structural ornament.
It's an alright build. It's not a toss heads, dragon or something like that, but it'll get you a point in the the ornament challenge.
It's more than just a point, Swarley. You put your hard-earned time and effort and heart and soul into that build. I saw it.
Not that one. That was
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it anymore, but I can't fucking do it.
your one took way more effort than Peppermint Tower.
That's true. All right, we're ready to do this thing. This is oh yeah, and then so this is for the Swarley's thing. Whatever his spin wheel is. No, actually we'll do that one second. We're gonna do this is for the teabagger. Yeah, this is for the teabagger. And then the second one we'll do because you'll have to share after that. All right, so this is for the teabagger. Let's see who wins it. And it's gonna be EMV Media. Wins the teabagger. Congratulations. And we will draw again. This one is for Swarley's thing.
So is he still in there, or did you remove?
I don't know. California Trading Co.
I never remember the bloody name. Every week we have the same problem.
I know. We do this every fucking time.
So, all right. So this is a list of all. That's multiple. I'll shuffle that up.
Now I need to go to
So Peppermint Tower is on there, which
Thanks.
is the only build I've got for next season at the moment. But hopefully in the next few weeks I'll get all the rest out there. But all right, Mr. Trading Co. Was it?
California Trading Co.
For the ranch regular townhouse. Oh, sorry, the ranch. The Father's regular townhouse. Awesome. Alrighty, so just hit me up in Discord or in game. Actually, I need to know your in-game name first. So just tell me in-game name now, then hit me up in Discord or in-game as to where you want to collect that from, and I'll list it for one up.
Is it Ruble Max? Is that who that is? I feel like I wrote this down last week.
I know, I feel bad. Yeah, so EV Media, he doesn't sell them, he only gives them away. So if you want to get your hands on one, you've got to win them. Having said that, he's pretty fucking generous at giving them away.
Goddamn, you keep bitching at me about giving all my
This is
shit away.
supposed to be hard to get a hold of. Like, he's only got 5, I think it's 500. Is that the maximum?
No, it's not supposed to be hard. Look, you just have to be a loyal, fucking non-sniping piece of shit.
Dude. Count Trading, just send me an in-game chat. Oh, sorry,
and I will give it to you.
Well, tell me now. Actually, no, just tell me now where you want to collect from. What city? I've got most of the major ones covered, so tell me where you're at, and I'll stick it in there now. While I think of it, because if I leave it for later, I'll forget.
EMV Media, you should have a notice in your messages. I just reserved it for you in my showroom. You're gonna have to go to Kansas City to get it, though, sucker.
Yeah, unlike me, who will look after you and have a showroom in the city that you're in. Why
don't you go fuck yourself, Swarley? You bastard. Look, I got showrooms being built right now in LA. Okay.
I just, so you saw the picture of Washington, D.C. I will have it listed there in 30 seconds. Actually, no, I've got to unlist one to relist it. Give it 2 minutes and then there'll be one there for you to pick up, mate. So just look up Swarley Structures in Washington.
All right, Happy, your turn. What are you giving away?
It's property, apparently.
I'm just joking. I think he froze. Him and his Sonic internet.
Oh,
Oh, there he is.
Now.
No, you don't have to. I'm just joking.
Let's see. I can give away a Block Explorer.
You're gonna give away a Block Explorer?
Let me find one.
Wow, that's.
Yeah,
Hang on,
me give away.
is it too late for me to enter the draw? I didn't enter because I didn't want to win one of my own prizes.
Oh man, this cat shit smells so bad. I have a litter box next to my computer, and man, one of these cats.
You gotta stop using it.
What?
You gotta stop using it. It's for the cat, not for you.
I can't fucking help it. Sometimes I gotta go, and I don't want to run all the way upstairs, so I blame it on the cats.
All right. Give me another minute, Mr. Cow Trading. Apparently, I've sold out of.
All right. Happy, did you find something?
He's still looking.
All right. I will give away a. Let's see, what do I have multiples of? I'll give away a Cloud Cupid Block Explorer.
It fucked it up. Damn it. Hold on. What did I say? Locked up?
You did.
It fucked it up. God bless America. A Cloud Cupid? I mean, I gotta do this manually.
America, and it fucked it up. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's true. Okay. Let me do a wheel of names since I screwed this up.
Oh crap.
And now I gotta manually put these in there. Okay, so somebody say something profound real quick.
Takes one to know one.
That's not it. EMV Media. What else we got here? A lot of hate up in here. Jimmy Jester. What else? We got Boydern. Let's see.
Vape High Guy.
Cow Trading Co. is listed. Fake it till you make it. Yep, that's a pretty good saying too.
Trees.
Actually, the best place I've seen that, it was in The Walking Dead with that guy with the tiger. Fake it till you make it. That guy was a champion character.
He was good. The king.
Yeah, I loved it. It was brilliant. Fake it till you make it.
It is a true saying, though, like it kind of applies for anything. If you want to manifest something, you almost have to start, faking that you have it to manifest it.
That's what I would tell these little sex offenders every day. I said, you guys just need to fake it till you make it. I'm like, stop thinking about fucking children and thinking about doing things the right way. They don't listen, though.
Think like you're a regular person.
Well, fake it till you make it is basically having confidence, isn't it, really? Or portraying confidence even if you don't have it.
Hey, it really works though, man. Because you have to to build a habit. I can't remember how many repetitions it is, but it's a fuck ton. But if you just keep faking this thing and it becomes a repetitive thing, it ends up being a habit. So I think it's 30 days or something.
Yeah, it's 28 or 30 days to make or break a habit.
Yeah. All right. So I think this is all the names I could find on there. So hopefully I got it right. EMV Media, Jimmy Jester, Boydern, Vape, High Guy, Trees, Picasso, Fast Track Community, JP, and California Trading Company. And then I'll throw on Swarley.
No, because I feel bad if I win.
Nah, you won't. You fucking bad. All right.
What do
are
you guys
ready?
think about them selling the freaking race cars for $100 when you can buy them for $70?
Well, if you get yourself one of the Pro Series ones, then you're in fucking happy land.
But it's not. The current sale is only for the red trainer, 2023 red trainer.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, and it's
Oh, then
$100.
That's a raw deal. I have a trainer. I got fucking shafted, but I was trying to get one of the championship series ones. I couldn't do it. But I spent my 150 to try.
Yeah,
Okay.
those aren't even just going for them. You know, if you get the pass and all that crap, and then you get lucky enough to buy one.
Yeah. I wish I would have got one of those cool ones, but I just got a trainer. All right. Spinning the wheel. Here we go. This is for Happy MFers thingamajigger.
Cloud
And it's
Cupid.
going to go to Vapey Vape.
Woohoo. Track participant person
Hey,
already
hi, guy.
all over it.
Couldn't have went to a better guy, probably.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of good ones though.
Yeah, I guess. It could have went to a more average guy.
The average good guy.
Yeah, it couldn't have went to like a more okay person, maybe. Yeah. Seems
Good boy.
like he
Did you
didn't
have
suck
Boy
too
Dern
bad.
on there? Oh, you did have him on there. Boy
Well, that-
Dern, another one, another contributor to the track. Love to see it.
Yeah, fuck yeah, we do. Boydern.
Actually,
Champion.
speaking of, I don't think JP's done his properties yet, so we need to track him down and get him sorted. Two of them were previously owned by yours truly, so he better do it. Or I'll
What
want him
happened?
back.
No, I wasn't listening. I was reading chat.
I was just saying JP's got, I think he owns a
Veep.
few. Veep. You spelled it wrong.
Yeah, VP. Vepe.
Veep
Vepe
Igloo.
Hakai. That's okay.
Sounds like an Indian guy's name.
Veppy.
Vepe? Vepe Hagai? It sounds French to me in my head. It's French.
Hit me up in game, Babe. Hi, guy. And
Vepe
you can
Hagai.
either pick it up from a store or we can trade with a burner.
Gotta love them burners. We got anything else to talk about? I'm sure you guys talked about all kinds of really intriguing things while I was dealing with my facility crisis.
I can't even remember what we talked about. So,
Yeah.
oh, we mentioned your track because who was it? Someone said something about have you considered doing a go-kart track? For,
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
um,
we were showing off the Penis Island.
yeah.
It's
so I
Schlong
went, well,
Island.
and I said, look,
Schlong
at the
Island.
moment, given how much time, blood, sweat, and tears we're putting into the current track, and then there is obviously in the works one on Schlong Island. Although I called it Rocket Island just to piss you off while you weren't here.
Why would you do that? When Schlong Island is such a good fucking name.
I mean, it really is. It's such a play on Long Island, right? Schlong
Yes,
Island.
exactly.
Yeah, but we couldn't call it Schlong Island Raceway, could we?
We absolutely could have, but we knew we'd probably get rejected because that's too vulgar.
Just call it Just the Tip Raceway.
The island is called the Big Unit. Is that really what it's called in real life, or are you just making that up, babe?
He called it. He called that earlier, I think, too. So
I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually called that.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
It looks like that on the real map.
Yeah, I look. Yeah, it really is that. Everything is actually that.
it was clearly man-made. Most of those islands would be.
Oh yeah, for sure, man-made. I don't think Mother Nature would create a dong like that.
It'll make it thicker.
Yeah, she would.
It'll have 3 lanes instead of 2.
Well, the whole area is the shocker if you ever looked at that thing the right way.
I have a property in the triangle part of Cleveland. I don't understand.
No, that's not the best name, Vape. Schlong Island is the best name. I mean, I challenge you to come up with something better. Big Unit? No. Schlong Island. It's
Yeah,
here
we
to
should
stay.
do. We just should do some really cool giveaway if someone guesses what we actually did name the racetrack. We haven't said it yet.
Oh, we have not. That would be so
I mean,
fucking hard.
it's at least 3 months away from being approved, so we won't hold our breath. Given that Christmas is in between there, I'd suggest probably even longer. And the reason why I say that is because I currently have a different track waiting for approval, and it's been something like 3 months already with no word. So
Look, we will give away, I don't know, a package of things. Nobody, you didn't think that any of that's funny. That,
Well, you're gonna give away the whole package.
for anyone that can blow their load,
yeah. If somebody figures out the name, we'll give away a package of items between Swarley and myself. But good fun. Do you want to give them a clue at all? Like,
we already have. Like the topic that we're on is already enough of a clue,
that's true. Yeah, it's not called Schlong Island Raceway.
and it doesn't have the letters D, I, C, or K in the name.
Well, it's got to be like still approvable, right? So it's not
It
too
does.
dirty.
Yeah,
It's got to be, yeah. It's same theme still. We're still on the same theme, but we
It's
had
on-
to try and clean it up to a name that would possibly get approved by Upland.
hmm
We kind of think we're on the fence.
yeah,
Ding dong.
yeah. I
race.
think we are on the fence. It's a little too on the head.
Every property needs a banana hammock. Okay, you gonna make it, are you?
The mushroom
Banana
tip or mushroom stamp raceway.
Ooh, wouldn't that be something? Mushroom Stamp Raceway.
Mushroom stamp raceway.
Wow. That would be pretty funny. That's a good name. No, it's not that though. The Big Rooster. I like that name, but no, that's not it.
That would have been a contender for us to consider.
Yeah, it would have been. We were thinking of all kinds of different ideas. Yeah, put it in. If you come up with a name, or even if you get close, even if you get like really close, because the exact name is gonna be pretty difficult. But put it in the comments after the video. If somebody gets it, we'll give
Have
them
as many guesses as you want.
as many guesses as you want.
Just make it a different comment each time you guess, as many as you want. Anyone that gets remotely close, and when I say remotely close, I just mean basically the gist of the right word. There's more than one word in it, but if you get the main word right, we'll give it to you.
Rub one out Raceway. Yeah. Oh my god.
Now we're getting some good names.
That's damn it. Where were you when we were trying to come up with names for this track?
That's way better than the name we came up with, I think.
Helmet. Oh my god, yeah, helmet.
Nah, I would have passed on that one.
Oh my god. Please come up with more. We need these. I need these disgusting names for the racetrack. We wish we could have named Schlong Island Raceway, but Swarley's Fully Wooded Raceway. God damn that. Stop shitting.
No letters right there, pretty much.
The Turgid Tool. I don't even know what a Turgid Tool is, but it sounds great. This is more fun than listening to you guys bitch about fucking snipers. Oh gosh. All right. I think we're good. Should we call it?
Yeah,
I need some sleep. I got to drive through.
11 o'clock over here, almost. Yeah, 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Swarley's pushing what? Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. I have it.
I'm what?
6:07 for Swarley for tomorrow's time.
Tuesday evening. I'm about to go for dinner on Tuesday evening.
Just the tip. You know, babe, I swear to you, I
That
did
was
float the
in
name
the
just
mix.
the tip.
That was
And-
in the mix.
It was 100% that exact name was in the mix. And we thought,
But it's
that
not
would
just
probably
a
get
tip.
rejected. Probably get rejected.
Yeah, it might not fly.
Yeah. But that's a hell of a guess. Proud of you. Anyway, yeah, it's 11:07. It's 6:07 for Swarley tomorrow. I think it's time to go.
All right.
All right, Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm probably not going to see anyone again till next year sometime. Exact
So we have
date, time,
Thanksgiving
place.
first over here.
Probably from a new location. What Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we have Thanksgiving before Christmas in America.
Okay, do we?
No, I'm saying
Alright.
we do.
Yeah,
Me
we
and
do.
Yeah,
you
but
don't. Maybe you don't have anything to be thankful for.
They didn't steal. Oh wait, no, they did steal land from the indigenous
Natives,
people over there.
yes.
Never mind. You do.
Yeah.
You could celebrate Thanksgiving.
no, we have what's called Australia Day, which is 26th of January. So the day that Captain Cook landed and sort of colonized Australia with the first fleet, the criminals from England. And yeah, but there's been, because it's the same day that they first landed, it's starting to get a bit of controversy because it's the invasion day basically. So people want to change the date, which is understandable. So as long as it stays in the summertime, because it's one of the best days for Australians because it's a day off, go out, have a barbecue, go to the beach, all that sort of stuff. So hopefully it'll stay in summer, but
Yeah.
but I can understand the argument to move it. So, but yeah. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's our national day is 26th of January.
They're trying to change our Columbus Day, which is essentially the same thing.
The same thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they call it. So Thanksgiving is a little different than all
Thanksgiving is a little bit different. Yeah.
I guess we don't have a day like that in Australia, at least, anyway.
Yeah, there's no pilgrims in Australia. You gotta have a
that. No, you're just
pilgrim.
prisoners.
Just prisoners, just convicts that have been exiled to the penal colony.
Yep.
Bunch of
Basically.
fucking. That's probably where the ninjas came from. Those degenerates.
All right, catch you later, guys.
Let's get the fuck out of here. All right, guys. I'll check you later.
That's it.
Peace out.